It's definitely tough knowing that had we won that game, where it would be right now. I mean, it would be a strong third, maybe even a second. But I just really can't look back on those things.
Ohio State and Notre Dame loss really crushed us because, you know, it really put us back in the hunt then, and we just let it all slide out of our hands.
The Orange Bowl, I feel, is the greatest place I've ever played in. The crowd's always great, and it's, you know, it's like a spirit jumps in your body when you enter that Orange Bowl.
Got a lot of things to play for. Seniors' last game in the Orange Bowl, we've won 56 straight. That's going to be 57 straight.
ESPN's presentation of CFA College Football is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. By Sega, makers of Genesis, color game gear, Sega CD, and the fastest, coolest games ever. And by Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates.
Tonight we're at the Orange Bowl in Miami. It's a beautiful night in South Florida. The temperature in the mid-70s is the number 9 team in the nation. The Hurricanes of Miami take on the Memphis State Tigers. Hi, everybody. Joel Myers along with Mike Gottfried, and welcome to the Orange Bowl in Miami. Well, the Hurricanes, Mike, bring in an 8-2 record. They may be the only disappointed 8-2 team in the nation. It's the first time since 1990 they are not involved in the national championship picture, and they do have a different form of motivation coming in tonight, Mike, and that's the streak.
They do, Joe, and you can't believe that. 8-2 and no one's happy. The expectation level is so high, but the motivation tonight is the streak. With this win tonight, it'll give them 57, and we'll tie them with Alabama. And when I talked to the players this week, they all said the same thing. It's not so important that we're on the team that ties or breaks the streak. We don't want to be on the team that loses here at the Orange Bowl.
And how important is this game for the Tigers of Memphis State University? Well, it's only their second appearance in school history on a nationally televised affair, so it means a great deal to them.
It means not only the ball game, but recruiting, because they're on TV and they want to recruit this Florida area, so they want to show well tonight. And if they're to have any shot at all, their defense really has to play. They're the 7th-ranked team total defense in the country. They're front small, so they're going to have to move around.
Also with us on the sidelines with our coverage this evening, Adrian Karsten. Let's check in. Adrian?
Well, Joel, tonight 12 seniors suit up for the final time to play here at home with the Hurricanes. A group of guys that have played together for 4 or 5 years, and tonight leave their mark on a decade of dominance. Their defensive leader has been a guy named Darren Crine. He stepped out on this field for the first time as a freshman. He did so with a pledge to leave the field the last time tonight and leave his mark on Miami. Well, get this. In every game he's played here in his 5-year career, Miami has been in the top 10. This guy has made good on his promise.
So some bold words from Darren Crine. Great expectations every year for the Miami Hurricanes. There is Dane Pruitt, the sophomore from Birmingham, Alabama, ready to kick it off. Matt Cody back deep. The junior along with the senior John Martin. And we're underway at the Orange Bowl in Miami. It is going to be John Martin from the 6. And John Martin with a good return across the 25. 19 yards on that return for the Tigers of Memphis State. The starting lineups brought to you by Russell Athletics. And we start with the offense for the Tigers of Memphis State, and their quarterback in only his 2nd career start, the transfer from the University of Maryland, Tony Scarpino, joined by Holiday and Porter in the backfield. The wide receivers, Isaac Bruce, 65 receptions, their leading receiver, along with Anderson and Cody. And along the offensive front, we'll get to that in just a second as they come out in the eye, and they're throwing on first down. And it is Isaac Bruce, reception number 66 on the season. Now we get to the big offensive front. They are anchored in the middle by Jeff King. It is a senior-dominated offensive front. All 5 are seniors. And King has started every game in the offensive line for the last 3 seasons for Memphis State. So the completion good for 5 yards. 2nd and 5 now for the Tigers. Scarpino, a junior from Monroeville, Pennsylvania, just outside of the Pittsburgh area. Goes at 6'3", 215 pounds. Knocked away from Bruce. The defensive back timing it perfectly. That was Dexter Ziegler.
The whole plan, Joel, of Memphis State tonight is to throw quick. They know they're going to have trouble with the defensive tackles and defensive ends. So Tony Scarpino, the strategy by Carl Battershell, the offensive coordinator, throw the football quick.
Quick routes, intermediates, short passes. That's what they start with the first couple of plays. And now they're looking at a 3rd and 5 from their own 30. Memphis State bringing in a 6-4 record. Guaranteed their 2nd consecutive winning season. The quick route and an interception. Picked off by White. Off the deflection, the Hurricanes have it deep in Memphis State territory already. Paul White, the senior from Tampa, with the interception. Well, White, a big playmaker last year.
Plan is to throw quick, not let the defensive line get to you. Mike Anderson, number 3, hits him in the hands. Paul White, number 4, with the interception. And that's not what the Memphis State football team needs for their defense to be in the hole to start this football game.
It's the last thing they needed. So Miami very quickly 1st and 10 at the Memphis State 25 with a single set of Donnell Bennett. And Collins going up top and almost had that one picked off. Good play in the secondary by Dan Bonner. Now the offensive look for Miami. Ryan Collins in his 6th career start. You might remember his first career start came right here on ESPN against Syracuse. The wide receivers, Chris T. Jones leads Miami. Also with Harris and Clausell. And up front, Rudy Barber, the guard. The senior and the only senior on the offensive line, the native of Miami. And what a big night it is for Barber. So it's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Available over the middle. It's complete for a first down to the 10 to Chris T. Jones, the leading receiver, the junior from West Palm Beach, Florida, at Cardinal Newman High School. Now the defensive look brought to you by Russell Athletics for Memphis State. Rod Mason up front. He's only a sophomore, already his 2nd starting season. Danton Bartow we'll talk about a lot. He has been an incredible starter last 3 years for Memphis State. Their true team leader defensively. And the leader in the secondary in picks, interceptions, Dominic Callaway. Inside the 10, 1st and goal. Bennett bangs it down inside the 7. No, Miami, it wouldn't be a surprise to see Miami move the ball. But Memphis State has to be shocked by the early development.
Ryan Collins, a quarterback. Miami, you were talking about, Joel, got his first start here. Dennis Erickson started him against Syracuse. He wanted a spark. He wanted somebody to get him in the end zone. Ryan Collins has delivered that spark on offense.
He's a sophomore from Pembroke Pines, Florida. 6'2", 190-pounder. He sets up 3 wideouts on the 2nd and goal from outside the 7. The elusive Collins down to the 4, and that's what he gives them that we haven't seen at Miami in so many years, Mike, because they've had the pro-style quarterback.
They've had to drop back quarterbacks, and what Ryan Collins brings to this field is a big playmaker. Dan Bonner, number 7, gets pressure, but the athletic ability of Ryan Collins is able to pick up good yardage, take it to the 4-yard line.
And a county major. A young man who definitely can do a lot of things. As they saw last week in that battle with West Virginia on that long pass where he scrambled forever, it seemed, and found A.C. Tellison. So now it is 3rd and goal from the 4. Collins in trouble. Can't get away. Great pressure by Richard Hogan's, the first one in there. The freshman from Columbus, Georgia.
What Memphis is doing to Miami is lining up in a defense, then moving before the snap of the ball. Richard Hogan's number 14, you won't even see him until the snap of the football. He's able to come through and beat the block of Rick Perry, number 73, and make the sack on Ryan Collins.
So Miami can't capitalize on the 1st and goal situation down inside the 10. Now Dane Pruitt for a field goal try. It'll be a 33-yard attempt. Not many opportunities for Pruitt this year. 8 of 10. A 33-yard try to give Miami an early lead. Plenty of distance, and he gets it inside the upright. So the Hurricanes at least come away with 3. And in the opening minutes of play, Miami with the early lead on Memphis State.
ESPN's presentation of CFA College Football is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, where safety, reliability, performance, and value are never optional. And by Sony. Nothing unleashes the power of music like Sony.
Three minutes and 3 seconds into the contest, a 33-yard field goal by the young man you're looking at now, Dane Pruitt. The sophomore from Birmingham, Alabama, has given Miami a 3-0 lead. Can they just do this? Cody and Martin back deep once again. It'll be John Martin from the 4. And again, John Martin giving the Tigers decent field position. Antonio Coley, reserve linebacker, the first one down there after the 20-yard return. And let's join Adrian Carson. Adrian?
Joel, the fact that Memphis State only gave up the field goal and not the touchdown is significant here, because before this team took the field pregame, they were reminded, hey, Coach Stobart has played Giant Killer before. He beat Southern Cal in a similar situation. Their assistant, Tim Rose, beat LSU when they were a top 20 team when he was the head coach at Miami of Ohio. So believe you can win, bend, but don't break.
Chuck Stobart leading the Tigers to back-to-back winning seasons for the first time for that program since '77. It's the fullback Holiday on first down with good yardage on first down. 5 and almost 6. And now defensively, Kevin Patrick will lead it for Miami. Already a Kodak All-America selection, the right end out of Palm Springs, Florida. The linebackers, Rohan Marley is going to start. He was a little nicked up at the end of the last game of the loss to West Virginia, but he is going to start after a career best game where he had 16 tackles in their last one. And Dexter Siegler, the corner, the senior from Avon Park, Florida, once again leading the team in interceptions for the second season. Not much available that time for Memphis State on the ground. A couple of yards to the 31, and that is it.
Adrian was talking about Chuck Stobart taking the Memphis team to Southern Cal, that big win. Tim Rose, the defensive coordinator, knocking off LSU in Baton Rouge. But if they would pull this upset tonight, I don't know. That'd be a shot heard around the world, because when you're going for a streak like Miami, you expect them to play their best tonight, Joe.
Chuck Stobart, 8 years an assistant at Michigan under Bo Schembechler, so he saw some great ones there. Scarpino already picked off once. It'll be 3rd and 3. And he throws it behind the intended target, John Martin. Martin was available, and the Tigers with a flag down to the play. In a punting situation, if it is 4th down. What's the flag all about, though?
Maybe on Robert Bass, the middle linebacker, personal foul call.
J.C. Louderback, the referee.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, automatic first down.
It's on the middle linebacker, Joe, Robert Bass. Pickup number 49. There's the hit. Now he ran right through him, stepped up and bumped him, and that's the call.
Basically uncalled for.
Uncalled for. And Robert Bass is heading to the sideline.
So a first down for Memphis State, their first first down of the contest. It comes by way of penalty as Burgess, a true freshman, takes over for Bass. And it's out to the 46-yard line. The tailback this time, Larry Porter. Only a couple of yards at the most. Give him a yard. Larry Porter with 41 yards tonight. An opportunity to move into second place on the all-time rushing list for Memphis State.
Joel, this is Tony Scarpino's second start. He took over for Steve Matthews, and Matthews was having a great year at Memphis State. A lot of the pro people, Gil Brandt told me he felt like he'd be the real surprise of the draft. So Tony Scarpino has filled in admirably in the 2 games that he's played here for Memphis State.
2nd and 9 from the 47. Scarpino in trouble, and he's sacked back at the 40. Kevin Patrick, the All-America, along with Warren Sapp, and it's a loss of 7 yards.
What's always made this Miami defense is the front 4. When you get a push from the tackles, Warren Sapp, number 76, gets the push up inside. Then Kevin Patrick comes from the outside. Darren Crine, number 91. They're so quick from the outside. You see Kevin Patrick, who's just had a great career here at Miami, along with Darren Crine need two ends, bookends.
Robert Bass is back into the game now, but you're talking of the bookends. There's Darren Crine. Cross away Kevin Patrick. Patrick, first team All Big East last year, and that didn't mean much, but this year, first team All Big East, there's some pretty strong names. We'll get into that in just a second. 3rd and long. They set up the screen. The running back, Whitman Spalding. And is it taken away? Miami says they're coming up with a loose ball.
Official says it's down, and I believe they're going to blow it dead.
Whitman Spalding, not much blocking on the little swing. Spalding, a redshirt freshman, and it is going to be a punting situation. And back to the Big East. Who would have believed that there would be 4 teams in the top 25 of the Big East and not one of the 4 Syracuse?
Had a good year, and you see Warren Sapp, number 76, with the pressure. Then Paul White, number 4, reacting to the screen. There was just no ability to get away, and then Paul White stripped the football, but the official called it dead.
Dexter Siegler waiting for the punt from McWilliams. Very high, short one. They'll stay away from it, and it takes a Miami roll. So the Hurricanes, as it was touched outside of the 45 and now knocked out of bounds, will get it back in great field position when we come back with a 3-point lead.
1993, we designed a new car. We created a new class. We developed new engineering. We created a new standard of performance. We redefined value. Introducing the C-Class. It wasn't designed to compete with other cars. It was designed to replace them. The new C-Class starting at under $30,000.
Classic television. Hogan's Heroes.
Green Acres.
Arnold Zip. Who played him? Nobody. He was the pig. Remember Family Affair?
Mr. French. I loved him. He's attractive.
Pete, Link, Julie. Okay, Ginger or Mary Ann?
Ginger was a bimbo.
Mary Ann. Mary Ann or Jeannie?
Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Jeannie.
Crisp, clean, classic.
This is on to the second meeting between Miami and Memphis State. The only other time these two programs got together was back at the Liberty Bowl in 1969. And Memphis State won it 26-13. Only an 11-yard punt by McWilliams gives Miami the ball 1st and 10 at their own 47. Then at the single set. Collins with plenty of time. Going up to get it. What a grab. Chris T. Jones takes it down to the 27. First down, Miami.
Joe, when I was at Pittsburgh, we had Chris Jones signed, and then they released him, and he came to Miami, but always felt like he was going to be an outstanding receiver. The knock on Ryan Collins so far this year, as you look at his numbers, he's 4-1. Frank Costa 4-1. 4 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns for Ryan Collins, but the 8 interceptions. They believe he just jumps out of the pocket too soon, doesn't let things develop, always wants to make a big play.
Well, unfortunately, after that play, Chris Jones came over favoring his right ankle. They set up trips and they run the ball with James Stewart on his first carry of the contest. And a healthy gain close to another first down. Stewart, the sophomore from Vero Beach, Florida. He missed all of last year with a pinched nerve in his neck. His first carry tonight, good for just about 10.
He fumbled twice in the West Virginia game, so it was important that he be able to start this game, have some success. Gets a good block by Rick Perry. And the problem for Miami in the West Virginia game is they only rushed for 61 yards against that very good West Virginia defense. They need to run the football, and James Stewart is a big back at 6'3", 235 that can give you that load running in there.
Well, Miami has run it for over 200 yards in 5 games this year. The last time that Miami accomplished that was back in the 1978 season. They've got it by the nose. 1st and 10 Hurricanes. But what we talked about earlier is probably negated the run to a certain extent with the great pro style of quarterback they've had here in the program for the last 20 years.
That has done it. And also, Joe, when you throw the ball like Miami has, you're not going to be a running team, that offensive line, and knock somebody off the ball. You're a finesse type of offensive line.
7.5 minutes left in the first 15 minutes of play. Miami on a 33-yard field goal by Pruitt with a 3-0 lead. Bennett. He gets it down to the 15 for a gain of a couple. Well, great college basketball coming your way a little bit later this evening on ESPN. The great Alaska Shootout. Portland taking on the number 21 Purdue Boilermakers with their outstanding preseason All-America Glenn Robinson. That is tonight on ESPN at midnight. And then tomorrow, more college basketball. It'll be Tennessee taking on the number 20 Syracuse Orangemen. They bring back the leading returner scorer in the Big East. They call him Poetry in Moton, Lawrence Moton. Great college basketball tonight and tomorrow. 2nd and 8 for the Hurricanes at the 15 of Memphis State. Behind the intended target, that was Jonathan Harris. He's a junior from Houston.
Tim Rose, the defensive coordinator, when he talked about stopping Miami, he said, when you play a passing team, you look at Tim. Tim was a head coach at Miami of Ohio. Did a nice job there. But to stop a passing team, you first have to stop the run. You can't let them have both dimensions against you.
Right now, Miami throwing the ball extensively in the early going. 6:40 left in the first quarter of play. Collins this time out of the shotgun on 3rd and just about 8. Bennett on the dump off. Is he ever tough to bring down? He loses yardage, but it took about a half dozen. Finally, the free safety came in. Jeremy Williams, a senior from Columbus, Georgia.
But the quickness of the Memphis State defense. Adam Diaz, number 47, will blitz. Number 7 coming from the outside, Dan Bonner. But look at the quickness of the Memphis State defense. Not 1, not 2, not 3. There's about 9 guys getting a shot at Donnell Bennett. The hustle and the pursuit by the Memphis State defense.
They are helping Brian Barnett over to the sideline, the nose guard for the Tigers. A loss of 4 on that last play. Great pursuit for the Tigers, watching 2 of the top 7 teams in the nation in total defense. Memphis State number 7 and Miami number 4 coming in.
Has to be frustrating for Dennis Erickson, because the reason he installed Brian Collins in the ball game was to get into the end zone when they get inside the 30-yard line.
36-yard try by Pruitt. True to form, he is 2 for 2 in the contest, and Miami is on top by 6. 5:57 left in the first 15, and the Hurricanes capitalize with a good field position once again.
I need an electronics shop that offers competitive prices and the convenience of, say, a mall location. A place that sells this year's merchandise, not last year's inventory. Of course, Electronics Plus.
Enjoy your holidays with a new 5-disc CD carousel, just $139. Or record your own home movies with a new JVC camcorder for $579.
Electronics Plus. Today's technology when you need it.
We will almost go to any length to make sure that that customer is served to the level of satisfaction that has been the Rutland tradition.
When we offer a man a suit at any price, we are duty-bound to be able to provide the finest garment at any price point.
We know our clients, we know the merchandise, we do the best we can to service their needs.
We have all the things that it takes to make a really great clothing store, and we're very, very proud of that tradition.
Start your NFL Sunday with the show the pros watch. ESPN NFL Game Day. Our pros will get you ready for a day of NFL excitement. ESPN NFL Game Day. Tomorrow at noon Eastern, only on ESPN.
Dennis Erickson, only the second coach in NCAA history to win a national championship in his first year at a school. The only other one to do it, Benny Oosterbaan, back in Michigan in 1948. Pruitt kicking it away to that combo, the law firm of Cody and Martin. And it's going to be Cody from the goal line. Again, getting good returns from Cody and Martin. James Burgess on the special teams stop. but it's almost out to the 28-yard line.
28 yards.
So the Tigers have started now at their own 25, the 24, and this is their third possession at the 28. Now, can they sustain a drive? Because eventually it's going to get to their defensive unit. The temperature is fortunately in the mid-70s, but the humidity is also in the mid-70s. Scarpino, a young man that grew up in the Pittsburgh area. What a thrill this has to be. This is dreamland for Tony Scarpino. His parents at the Orange Bowl tonight watching his second career start. 1st and 10 from the 28. The reverse, and they get it outside to Cody. Good yardage for Cody all the way to the midfield stripe and then some. To the Miami 46, 26 on the end around. The reverse by Matt Cody. Sigler, the cornerback, in on the hit.
When you play against a team that pursues like Miami, watch Rohan Marley and the pressure coming inside. They're going right after the football. Reverse. Good call on the reverse because now you're outside. All that pursuit. Matt Cody with a good game, but they took advantage of the aggressiveness of the Miami defense.
Matt Cody, young man from St. Louis's Vashon High School. He's a junior. He got 26, 1st and 10 from the 46. They go the other way on the reverse to Bruce. And Bruce takes it inside the 40 to the 39. Kevin Patrick on that tackle. So the reverse with possibly a group of over pursuers from Miami working on 2 consecutive plays. Coach, what about the misdirection and the delays later?
Sending a message to the Miami defense. We're just trying to slow you down. Even if it doesn't work, and it did work twice. You look at the leading tacklers. Rohan Marley wasn't supposed to play tonight, but he's 1 tackle behind Corwin Francis for the lead. He's going to play whether he's hurt or not. C.J. Richardson, a safety, has 82. So if I'm a coach and I look in the safeties, the 3rd leading tackler, we'll try to catch him on a play-action pass behind him.
2nd and 3 from the 39. The tailback, Porter, battling his way to the marker, very close to where he needed to go for the first down. The senior from Columbus, Georgia. He needed 41 coming in to move into 2nd place on the all-time rushing list for Memphis State.
If you're going to play against a Miami team and you're Memphis State, you have to do things out of the normal. Chuck Stobart, the 2 reverse calls were good. I mean, you have to throw when they think you're going to run. You've got to run when they think you're going to throw passes. You have to screen, trap, draw, reverse, delay. You've got to do it all to them.
So the gadget plays you didn't work on all that much over the first 8-10 weeks of the season. You worked on this week.
Bring everything out of the bag. Don't leave anything in the bag tonight.
3rd and less than a yard for Memphis State. Hitting on 41% of their 3rd down tries on the season. Holiday, the fullback, with a big hole. He's got the first down. He's down to the 33 of Miami on a drive that started back at the Memphis State 28.
The big question I had tonight about this Miami football team is they've not been in this situation. As you mentioned at the start of the show, they're out of the national picture. So would they come in flat tonight? Would they be flat in this thing, even though they're trying to break the tie the streak? And it looks to me like they're a little lethargic. Those 2 reverses have kind of got to them a little bit.
We'll talk about that streak once again in just a second. 1st and 10, Memphis State. The short drop for Scarpino. Good concentration by Cody, the wide receiver, taking it in just inside the 30, but back to the streak very quickly. They're looking for their 57th consecutive win at the Orange Bowl. The last time they lost at the Orange Bowl, September 7th, 1985, their season opener to Florida. A 35-23 setback. Let's go downstairs. Adrian Karsten. Adrian.
Injury to Brian Barnett, the nose guard for Memphis State. Joel, here's the situation. He twisted his knee, has ice on it right now. They're going to sit him out of series, but Coach Rose looked at him and said, look, we got to get you back in the ballgame.
Only true freshman to start for the Tigers last year. That would be a huge loss, the sophomore. 2nd and 7. Scarpino, the pocket holds up well. He's got Bruce. Touchdown, Memphis State. The Tigers get on the board. Beat the combo in the secondary of Terrace Harris and Paul White on the 30-yard strike from Scarpino. And he had great protection.
Good protection on that pass. It was off of play action. Good fake by Tony Scarpino, but Terrace Harris just was beaten. Number 83, Isaac Bruce, working down the field, breaks to the inside. Terrace Harris, number 6, overruns the play, and wide open Isaac Bruce.
Joe Allison, the senior from Atlanta, in for the point after try, and Memphis State has their first lead of the contest. 2:45 left in the opening 15 minutes of play, and a surprise early with Memphis State even gaining an early advantage on Miami. Stoney Scarpino celebrating with the rest of the Tigers. Perfect pattern by Isaac Bruce, their leading receiver.
If you're Miami, that's a little bit of a wake-up call for you, because you could just tell they're a little flat, Joel, not getting the ball in the end zone the first 2 times inside the 30. And what you do when you allow that touchdown pass and you allow yourself not to score on them when you get the football inside the 50-yard line, you give hope to Memphis State. And Memphis State now starts to play a little more loose and starts believing every minute that goes off that clock that they've got a chance.
Well, we talked about at the top of the telecast, Miami, a disappointed group. They're not a part of the national championship picture. They're hoping to set up with a win here, a date with Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl.
Joe, I talked to a couple of the coaches at practice the other day, and when they had their game against Rutgers when they didn't play real well, that was the day that Florida State was beaten by Notre Dame, and they knew that Florida State had to beat Notre Dame for them to have any chance at the national picture, and they went flat when the Notre Dame score came across.
Dexter Sigler will bring back the Allison kickoff from the 1, and he is belted down in a hurry after a 19-yard return. It was Frank Fletcher, reserve fullback. The basic heat-seeking missile. I think we heard that one up here, Coach.
Frank Fletcher just with a good hit. That ball came loose, too, but they're calling it dead at the 20. Now, if you're Memphis State, Joe, you've got the lead. Now, you cannot allow Miami. The one thing Miami can do on you with offensively is they can hit a big play. You must make them work the field.
Chris Jones, good news for the Hurricane fans, who's back in the lineup despite the fact that he limped over to the sideline after that one grab he made. Sago trips over to the near side. 1st and 10 from the 20. The wide receiver, the slot man Harris, with a first down for Miami on the completion to the 33. All the way to the 34 for 14 yards, put down by Jeremy Williams, the free safety.
Only one starter on this offensive football team of Miami is a senior, so you're always looking for leadership, and Ryan Collins, even though he's only a sophomore, has to supply that leadership.
So often it looks like Collins wants to leave the pocket, wants to break the containment. It's got to be tough for him to hang in there and wait for the pattern to develop. Here comes the pressure. He throws it away. It does not draw a flag with the great pressure from Tony Williams, a freshman, a true freshman from Germantown, Tennessee.
There really wasn't a receiver there for him to throw to. Tony Williams with the pressure, number 53. But watch the people he throws to are all linemen. Number 28, James Stewart, was far out on the left side. He wasn't even near the football.
Very fortunate there wasn't a grounding call. Bennett back in the lineup now for Miami on a 2nd and 10 from the 34. And Ryan Collins changing the play at the line. He had Jones open forever and finally had it sail over, and now a flag, a late flag on what could be a personal foul on Callaway.
They're definitely going to get Dominic Callaway, number 1. The ball was way over the head of the receiver, Chris Jones.
Dead ball, personal, on White, automatic first down.
Look at the defensive line. When you're small and you're quick and you're up against a big offensive line, you have to move around before the snap of the ball. You see the movement. Once the ball snapped, too, you'll see a looping, a slanting, delayed blitz, a lot of just different uses of the defensive line so that you take away the size differential that Miami has.
Trying to mix it up on the defensive front. 15-yard mark off, and now Miami with a first down at their own 49, trailing by a point. 2:07 left in the first quarter. Stewart this time is single set, but Collins with a flag down in the play will take it on his own. What a great athlete. He picks up the first down, but there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. He gets a first down to the 40 of Memphis State on an 11-yard run.
That looked to me like it was offside. Now, I may be entirely wrong here, but it looked to me like Memphis State may have lined up offside. It may be, we'll see, but that's what it looked like. Again, Ryan Collins with the improvising, taking off.
He looks like he'd be a sensational option quarterback, doesn't he?
He'd be an excellent option quarterback. It is offside on Memphis State. So it looks like the left defensive end at the top. Let me circle him here a second. Right here, looks like he had just leaned over the football a little bit. And that's the penalty. There's Tim Rose, really active. He's saying, I'm going to deal you a card here now, unless I want to deal a good defense. Well, I tell you what, he's got so much enthusiasm. Coached high school ball at Lorraine Catholic 100 years ago. Did a great job at that little parochial school in Ohio.
Memphis State out rushing Miami in the first 13 minutes of the game. The Hurricanes with a first down to the Memphis State 40. Collins will keep it. Not that he wanted to. And he's out of bounds after a gain of 1.5 yards, 2 yards. Rod Mason, the right tackle, forcing him out on that side, the sophomore from Memphis.
Memphis State is winning the war at the line of scrimmage. Rod Brown, number 55, on a blitz. Rod Mason, number 66, with a big play. But watch the war at the line of scrimmage. There's the fake blitz. Now he steps back. Now he comes. Now he is able, number 55, Rod Brown, to force Ryan Collins out of the pocket. Now comes pick up 66. Rod Mason makes the tackle. So they're forcing Ryan Collins out of his rhythm.
2nd and 8 for the Hurricanes at the 38. Collins with a wide open receiver taking it in. Jermaine Chambers very close to another Miami first down. Better protection that time for Ryan Collins.
Here's the size differential. When you look at the defensive front of Memphis State, you have a 6'2", 210 defensive end against a 6'7", 300-pound tackle. The other side of the coin, you got 6', 210, the other linebacker against a 6'7", 310. Now, when I see that, I figure, hey, I'm going to run the football. I'm going to pound you. And so I really believe Miami's going to 2 tight ends now, and I think that's what they'll try to start doing.
James Stewart, the single set, has the first down to the 27-yard line. But on the opposite side, the defensive coordinator for the Memphis State Tigers has got to tell his kids, we're going to outquick them. I don't care how big they are. We're going to be that much more athletic and quicker.
You're right, but when you go to 2 tight ends, you start going jaw to jaw. So that 210 guy is going to line up on that 310, and if he can get him in his sight, he's going to take him down. But Miami now is coming out of the 2 tight end offense. Joe, they're listening to you now. They're going to spread out a little bit more again.
Well, somewhat surprising, they have gone with 3 wide receivers most of the first quarter. They really haven't tried to pound it. Bennett in the backfield once again on first down from inside the 28. And it's picked off by the linebacker, Rod Brown. Collins has an angle, and he'll put him down at the 37. Memphis State's Rod Brown with the interception.
Ryan Collins hit Rod Brown on the break. Rod Brown got that right in the stride. The linebacker, number 55, and again, a good defensive call by Tim Rose. Here's number 55, Rod Brown. He's going to drop back into his hook zone. Ryan Collins is going to throw the ball right to him on the move like he's his receiver. Ryan Collins sets up, look at the throw, perfect throw right to Rod Brown, 55, and now he's off and running. Ryan Collins makes the tackle.
Pretty clean route that Rod Brown ran.
He was wide open.
So Memphis State with a 1-point lead gets it back with 69 seconds left in the quarter. A 43-yard return. So far, the numbers for Ryan Collins. He has not looked all that comfortable tonight in the pocket, so give Memphis State credit to their defensive front for getting him out of his rhythm.
He's out of rhythm completely in this first half. I'd look for Dennis Erickson to start running the football a little bit.
Holiday and Spaldman in the eye as they fake the reverse, looking deep for Cody, and it's out of bounds. Intercepted, but out of bounds.
Wow, I thought that might have been a pretty good interception by Dexter Siegler.
And a penalty flag way back.
Official has a much better look at it than we do.
Trying to find Matt Cody at the back line of the end zone. Not a bad throw. Off balance from Scarpino, the quarterback.
Off of the reverse, Joe.
It'll be a holding call against Memphis State.
holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
So it'll be 1st and 20 now for Chuck Stobart's Memphis State Tigers.
They had success running the reverse. All of a sudden you think reverse, and all of a sudden Tony Scarpino is going to throw the football. Trent Miley, number 73, is called for the hold, but let's see if he intercepts this football and stays in bounds.
4 wide receivers setting up on 1st and 20. It's Anderson. He can't go anywhere. Corwin Francis had him around the ankle to hold him up until the rest of the Hurricane defense could get over, and now a late flag coming in. Not exactly a surprise, though.
No.
I was at the Colorado-Miami game.
A few flags that day.
Just a few.
That was flag day.
28-minute delay. Personal foul, Miami. Let's look back on that pick, or almost pick, by Dexter Siegler, and the pass intended for Cody.
I still think Dexter Siegler, I'm trying to look, see if he came down with the football. That's close, but I'll tell you what, I thought he had it, and I thought he had the interception.
Let's go downstairs to Adrian Karsten.
Well, Coach would have been right, but the ref told me, here's the situation, Joel and Coach, he did not have complete possession of the ball inside the back of the end zone. He was out of bounds before he actually had the ball in control himself, so that's the call, Coach.
So he had the foot down, but he did not possess the ball.
Adrian, tell the official I stand corrected.
Automatic first down after the personal foul from Memphis State. They're at the 40 for the Hurricanes with a 1-point lead. Holiday trying to break tackles. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Rohan Marley slowing him up.
It's been the type of season for Miami where the defense in close games really has had to carry this football team. The offense has stalled all year. That was why they made the quarterback change from Frank Costa to Ryan Collins. But this defensive football team is in the same light as the other defenses they've had here at Miami.
Last week in that loss to West Virginia started with the ball 4 times in plus territory. 4 times in the first half alone. They had the ball in Miami territory in the first half. They could have really pulled away from Miami early, but the defense kept Miami in the game as they eventually lost by 3. That's the end of the first 15 minutes of play of the Orange Bowl in Miami, and an early start for the Memphis State Tigers. They're on top of the Hurricanes by a point. The legendary Orange Bowl in Miami, New Year's Day, Nebraska, and is it going to be Florida State? It appears to be that way as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. Joel Myers, Mike Gottfried, Memphis State by a point over the Miami Hurricanes, the number 9 team in the nation. And tonight's overhead shots from the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes from Pompano Beach, Florida. I think I played the Sulkies in Pompano Beach. At the controls tonight, Captain Dick Esch from Sunrise, Florida. We've got a beautiful night in South Florida. Humidity may be a little bit up, but the temperature, fortunately, is down. And Memphis State has the ball, and they have had a solid start against a very talented Miami team. They're looking at 2nd and 10 from the Miami 44. Flag on the play. The back was available, and it's intercepted by C.J. Richardson. There is a penalty flag, though, at the line of scrimmage. Intercepted back at the 15 as he was trying to lead Quitman Spalding. It'll be against Memphis State. Thank you, Kevin Patrick. So Miami gets it back off the turnover. The second turnover committed.
You see
Memphis State.
And you see Kevin Patrick, he's on the offense. He's tired. He feels like the defense has carried this football team. He wants something out of the offense. Corwin Francis, number 58, with a blitz. Ball is just in the air too long. C.J. Richardson, number 19, in 2 deep coverage, able to come back and make the interception. That's what you need right there, Joe. If you're a football coach, you need a Kevin Patrick. You need somebody to go around on the sidelines and say, it's time to wake up here, fellas.
Definitely an inspirational leader for this team. Bennett in the backfield, a single set, he'll get it. And he'll be belted to the backfield, won't make it back to the line, loses a yard and a half. Tim Hart with a great penetration for Memphis State, a redshirt freshman, a native of Memphis.
Well, this defensive football team's not 7th in the nation for no other reason other than the fact that they're quick, good tacklers, have a nice scheme under Tim Rose, and are playing lights out tonight here in the first half.
Memphis State defense held Ole Miss to -4 yards rushing. That was the lowest total in school history just a few weeks ago. So now second and close to a dozen. A little more than 11. They set up the screen for Stewart, and it never develops. Coming up out of the secondary, Dominic Callaway reading it perfectly.
You have one team on one side of the ball just playing lights out. The offense of Miami is just really, they're walking around. Played poorly last week against West Virginia. Just really need something to happen for them good. They just kind of hope that they're going to get the big play all the time.
You bring up a good point, because there's a huge difference in emotional intensity right now between the Memphis State defense and the Miami offense. 3rd and 11. Miami back at their own 14. Collins out of the shotgun. The man at the marker. Chris Jones going to get the first down. Yes, diving. What a great effort. Adam Diaz had him low, but Jones would not be denied.
One of the problems this Miami offense has had is that the receivers aren't the big play receivers like Lamar Thomas and Copeland and Kevin Williams in the past. You're going to see Chris Jones use his 6'4" frame against Dominic Callaway, then spin for the first down. But if you remember, Joe, Kevin Williams should be on this football team. If he'd have stayed his senior year, he would have been the big play receiver that they so badly need.
First down, Miami. 90 seconds into the second quarter. Memphis State leading by a point, 7-6. Collins with great protection. He's got a man. That's Harris behind the secondary. Inside the 25. Callaway coming up when the quarterback started to break the containment. He got a good block at the tail end of the play to spring him free from Rick Barry, the left tackle. 52 yards on the completion.
You always tell your defensive backs when a receiver's scrambling, when the quarterback's moving in the pocket, you stay as deep as the deepest. See, Ryan Collins looks like he's trapped. Now looks like he's going to take off running. Now he throws the football. Jonathan Harris just keeps on running, but watch Dominic Callaway. Number 1, he's going to pull up a little bit. Now Harris gets behind him, and now it's too late to react to knock the football down.
Bennett, the only one behind Collins on first down. And it is Donnell Bennett. All the way inside the 15. Down to the 14-yard line for a gain of 7.
Big play team, the Miami offense. You have to stop the big play. But, again, I think it's time probably Dennis Erickson's looking this over, that he wants to pound this front a little bit. Alternate backs, Donnell Bennett, James Stewart, the big back, and just see if they can run at the smaller defensive front.
Second and short, 2nd and 3 for the Hurricanes. It's Stewart, and he can't get out of the backfield. Knifing through Tony Williams once again, the true freshman from Germantown, Tennessee. And let's head back to the studios and join Mike Tirico. Mike?
Good evening, Joel. Prentice Roan had a 74-yard punt return early in the game, put Wyoming up 7-0 at San Diego. But on the reverse, they pitched it to Marshall Faulk. He hands to Darnay Scott, gets him down within the 5-yard line. Marshall would punch it in. Game's all tied at 7. Why is this important? Because BYU won. So if Wyoming wins tonight, BYU is the champion of the WAC. Joel?
Thank you, Mike. A 7-6 lead for Memphis State. It's in jeopardy, though. And now it's 3rd and 5 for the Hurricanes with the Tigers 16. Collins with time. Now it collapses, and he is sacked. Dan Bonner, his second sack of Ryan Collins, a sophomore from Oak Park, Illinois.
Frustration on Dennis Erickson's face. Dan Bonner, number 7, using his quickness to beat the offensive tackles. Remember, that works both ways. When you're small and quick, Dan Bonner 210 against a 310-pound tackle, you can beat him around the corner, and that is what Dan Bonner was able to do and force another field goal attempt.
The linebacker saw a number of snaps, only a sophomore, but plenty of experience, played a lot of as a freshman. A 35-yard field goal try for Dane Pruitt. And he pushes it over to the right side, so he is now 2 for 3 in the contest after hitting from 33 and 36 yards out. And it's still a 1-point lead for Memphis State with 10:51 left in the half.
Okay, classic cars.
63 VAG.
Split window.
Right.
68 Camaro Super Sport.
GTO, any year.
Nice. Gran Torino?
Starsky and Hutch.
Good car.
65 Mustang Ragtop.
It's obvious. 75 Pacer.
Tail fins.
Bumper bullets.
Bench seats.
Drive-ins.
Boss 302s. 427 big block LED8 with an 850 double pump.
Beechwood aged Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
Introducing one of the most visually distinct automobiles you've ever seen, and the most technologically advanced Celica Toyota has ever created. The all-new Toyota Celica, with sophisticated safety systems, available ABS, standard driver and passenger side airbags. But despite all this technology, when people see the new Celica, there's only one thing that keeps coming to mind. Watch out, it's here.
Need a more powerful battery? ProStart Plus, just $49.99 after rebate. Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
We're behind the Slick 50 racing team all the way, but then so is most everyone else. For the car you drive, for the way you drive. Slick 50, high performance engine formula.
ESPN's presentation of CFA College Football is brought to you by Toyota, makers of the exciting all-new Celica. Watch out, it's here. And by PowerBook from Apple. PowerBook from Apple, the power to be your best.
The Memphis State Tiger fans making their way down to Miami, and they've got plenty of reason to be excited. Their team is really into this contest.
I like that one sign Elvis says. He still must be talking up there in Memphis.
Is he in the house, though? A 7-6 lead for the Tigers. First and 10 to their own 20. Little delay counter. And that's Larry Porter. Got a little more than 3 on the carry.
Big win by Florida State today, Joe. And I think that has a lot to do with this game. Miami sat around all day, watched Florida State and Florida battle on TV in the game, and they're just not used to this. They're not used to being a spectator in the big games in the state. And when you look at their sideline right now, just look at it. There's no emotion on this sideline at all.
Huge difference between the two teams. Memphis State very involved in the game. Miami, physically they're here. Mentally, they don't seem like they're into it. Once again, Porter put down, though, right at the line, the 23 for no gain. You just saw that score with Penn State winning by a point on that incredible comeback against Michigan State. Other scores with North Carolina winning at home. Game from last night, Arizona most likely locking up a spot with that victory in a Fiesta Bowl matchup with Miami if Miami comes out on top tonight. And now Memphis State looking at a 3rd and 7. 9:45 left in the first half. Holiday and Porter work out of the backfield. Patrick will try to get into the backfield. Scarpino under pressure, and it's dropped by Cody. He had the first down.
If you're going to pull the upset, you have to make those catches because you've got to keep the chains moving, the clock moving, and your offense moving. Matt Cody had the first down, just dropped the football.
Andy McWilliams in for his second punt of the contest. Great push there by Kevin Patrick into the quarterback's face. Scarpino did a good job. That first punt, though, by McWilliams. Only 11 yards is Dexter Siegler. Will take it from the 38. There's a flag back at the original line of scrimmage. Siegler reversing his field for great yardage all the way inside the 45 down to Memphis State 41. But there is a flag back at the original line. Jeremy Williams making the hit on the special teams.
What do you have, Dick?
Miami will decline that one after the good return.
The return, 21 yards. Penalty.
So now Collins will start for the second time.
Motion on the kicking team. It's declined. First down.
Collins and Miami starting for the second time in their first 5 possessions in Memphis State territory. Tough job for Chuck Stobart, his squad, giving great field position for the opposition to start that drive. Be right back to the Orange Bowl in Miami.
The doors are open to the best of 94. The best of 94. It's Toyota's first sales event of the new model year. Camry, the best car built in America. Now with a low Toyota Touch lease. Or check out a more personal-sized Camry, the all-new two-door coupe, developed and built in America. Or how about the most technologically advanced Celica ever, the all-new 94 Celica. We're keeping the doors open on this event, but not for long.
This is a Macintosh personal computer. This is an ordinary PC. This is the world's easiest personal computer. This is an ordinary PC. This is the world's most advanced personal computer. This is an ordinary PC. Today, we're pleased to announce that this costs less than this.
Morning. Okay, hold on.
Delta Faucet has over 1,000 different styles of faucets to choose from.
Wait, just a sec.
So there's a Delta Faucet that's right for everyone's needs.
Oh, okay, I'll get the food, you get the water.
Delta, the way water is brought to life.
And don't forget to turn it off.
Chill out with some championship hoops. The Great Alaska Shootout. Watch it Saturday at midnight only on ESPN.
Surprisingly, Memphis State still with a 1-point lead over the Miami Hurricanes. Joel Myers, Mike Godfrey to the Orange Bowl with 9:18 left in the first 30 minutes of play. The biggest difference right now, the Memphis State defense. Tim Rose, the defensive coordinator, has done a super job of preparing his players. Miami now rushing the ball with 12 times. 12 carries for Miami, only 23 yards on the ground. Now they've got it 1st and 10. Great field position to the Memphis State 40. The tight end is overthrown. Gerard Daphnes, the redshirt freshman from Miami, was available. Let's go down to the sideline to Adrian Karsten.
Joe, speaking from personal experience, I can guarantee, and Coach knows, you play the way you practice. Kevin Patrick and Darren Crine, those two outstanding defensive ends, told me, look, very lethargic Monday and Tuesday of this week after the West Virginia loss. Nobody wanted to practice, looking at each other, blaming each other. You saw some leadership from Patrick earlier on. The only All-American selected this year off the Miami team. You got to go back to 1983 to find less than 3 All-Americans at Miami.
Thanks, Adrian. 2nd and 10. It's Harris, who just got a 52-yarder, the longest reception in his Miami career. The junior from Houston that time, though, got a little more than 3 on the reception.
But the blitzing ability that Memphis State is showing in the first half, Dennis Erickson's made the move now to put Ryan Collins back in the shotgun. Give him a better view of what he's looking at. Give him a little bit longer to throw, and if the blitz does come, he's able to get rid of it.
Now can Miami capitalize on the superb field position? They're looking at a 3rd and 7 at the 37 of Memphis State. Set up trips on the wide side of the field for Collins. And the floater over the middle. A first down inside the 25 to Tennyson. He's all the way to the 23. And let's head back to the studio and join Mike Tirico once again.
Joel, they're slowing down in the WAC. It only takes 2 minutes for Wyoming to answer San Diego State's score. Joe Hughes to Ryan Yarborough, who owns every receiving record in Cowboy history. Touchdown. That helps the Cougar cause. Cowboys by 7.
Thanks, Mike. Another defensive struggle in the Western Athletic Conference.
Joe Tiller, Wyoming, has done a real nice job. He'd be my WAC coach of the year this season. He's done a fine job at Wyoming.
They don't love to throw the ball in that conference, do they? 1st and 10 Miami as they finally convert on that 3rd and 7. Early pressure on Collins. Great moves by Ryan Collins. All the way to the 5. Will he get in? Touchdown Miami. What a play by Collins.
What they should do, Joel, now is go for 2 points because they're only ahead by 5. So this would be a 2-point, but they've got their kicker on the field. That's going to cause them a problem. They need to get him off the field. But here you see Ryan Collins now make the move, make the cut. He's running all the way now. Becomes a draw by the quarterback. It wasn't designed as a draw. Dan Bonner with good pressure, but it's going to cost Miami a timeout because the kicker ran out on the field to kick the extra point. You can see Dennis Erickson, he wanted 2 from the start.
So fortunately for the Hurricanes, it's the first half, not the second half, as the special teams cost Miami a timeout. They've got 2 remaining now with 8:01 left in the first half. Ryan Collins reminds me a lot, with better throwing ability right now, it appears at this stage of his career, of Tommy Frazier, the quarterback for Nebraska, the way he can move around.
Tommy Frazier now standing out of Bradenton, Florida for Nebraska, and Tom Osborne. But you'd like to have a mobile quarterback. He picked up a real solid block on that play by Rudy Barber, number 60. Left guard, number 60, Rudy Barber, blocking, staying with his block. Just continues to keep his feet moving, and that really was the block that was able to spring Ryan Collins. Now athletic ability takes over. When you blitz and when you come after people, there is, if a quarterback breaks that first line, now there's an area to run, because your defensive backs and linebackers are running man for man, so they have to get a call to get off to try to help on the quarterback.
They were bringing Bonner from the near side, so Collins heads to the far side. Plenty of real estate, and Miami has regained the advantage. They led early on a couple of Pruitt field goals, 6-0. Pruitt hitting from 33 and 36 yards out. And Memphis State with a touchdown pass of 30 yards to Isaac Bruce for the 1-point lead. And now Miami back on top of Memphis State.
They put the ball near the left hash mark, try to give themselves a little bit more room if they roll to the right, but wouldn't be surprised to go back into the short side also, because it's still off the hash.
Trips over to the near side, the wide side. Nobody in the backfield as Collins is going to work out of the shotgun. A two-point conversion try. And it's complete. Tellison taking it in to give Miami a 7-point lead. Good protection for Ryan Collins once again. Exactly 8 minutes left in the half. The Hurricanes now up by a touchdown to the Tigers of Memphis State.
Here we go. Yellow work. Real loud.
We're opening doors on the best of 94 and 93.
The best of 94. Toyota.
It's Toyota's first sales event of the new model year. Save on Corolla, a benchmark in America for 25 years. Right now, there's factory incentives up to $800 on Corolla, and silver anniversary option savings up to $700. Act now and you can save up to $1,500. It's the best of the 94 sales event at your Toyota dealer now.
It's the best Toyota.
Here's a new way to watch Cinemax. With 2 channels of Cinemax, you can choose from 2 different movies every time you tune in. Here's how you choose. Cinemax may be showing a premiere or a comedy. You might want drama or action. Just switch to Cinemax 2 for a different movie every time. That means now, whenever you turn on Max, it's easier to catch a movie you like.
Glossary primer, number 108. Milk carton.
Sometimes a professional athlete becomes a professional bench warmer. If he's not on the bench, he's in the box, in the dugout, injured, depressed, oh, whatever. He's not out there. You don't see him all season. He's missing. So logically, if he's missing, he should be on a milk carton.
Watch room, speak room, talk to, phone in sports talk with a language all its own. Monday through Friday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN 2.
On the 2-point play, Ryan Collins is going to find A.C. Tellison. A.C. Tellison's going to run a curl. He looks to the left, now starts to move, now finds A.C. Tellison moving inside against the linebacker, James Logan, number 45, for the 2-point conversion.
Ryan Collins with a 22-yard touchdown run. And don't forget, over the first 12 carries for Miami, they only had 22 yards prior to that scamper by Collins. The Hurricanes by 7. A short kickoff by Pruitt. It'll be taken by John Martin. And John Martin pays dearly at the 21-yard line. Marcus Carey. Could hear the helmets back up here.
Wow. And that's the kind of play that'll wake you up, too, to play. Marcus Carey. Listen to this hit.
A reason to celebrate. Great special teams work by the Hurricanes after the short kickoff by Pruitt. And now Memphis State. Let's see how they respond. Will they be rattled now that they're trailing once again? Going on first down, and Anderson can't hang on to it. Low throw from Scarpino.
When your team is a little lethargic and not playing up to their abilities, what you do, if you're the defensive coordinator, Tom Tuberville, is you turn up the heat a little bit. Start blitzing a little bit. Start getting them a little bit more active. Quit sitting back on defense. Send the blitz. Rohan Marley blitzed on the last play. Just get them active. Make them start playing. And this defense, again, this is in the same line of the defenses that have been here in the past. Warren Sapp, number 76. Rohan Marley, number 2. Fine football players.
You can really see on that last shot the difference in the size of Marley as opposed to some of the linemen and the other linebackers as well. He's not a large one. Plays with a huge heart, though. Trying to get the screen. It's knocked away, and Miami recovers. And now they're going to say it's incomplete. Warren Sapp all over the quarterback.
Wow, I don't know about this call.
Recovered by Crine.
Warren Sapp. Tony Scarpino feels good about the call. Dennis Erickson doesn't like it.
What a huge
Warren
break.
Sapp, number 76, who reminds the defensive coaches here of Jerome Brown. Oh, no, that's a fumble. Oh, that's a fumble. Darren Crine, number 91, picks it up. Big break for Memphis State.
J.C. Lauterbach, the referee, the closest to it right away. He went to incomplete pass. Warren Sapp with a big play. He's a sophomore from Plymouth, Florida. This is his first season as a starter. So now 3rd and 10. They'll try the reverse. Cody's going nowhere. Still breaking tackles, though. He's still short of the first down. Great effort, though, by Cody. It looked like he was going to lose 5 or 6. He picks up 5 instead, but still a punting situation for the Tigers.
Well, the third time they tried to run the reverse, Kenny Lopez was sitting there waiting for it, number 71. But Matt Cody did a good job to get out of it. But still, if you're Memphis State, Joel, you like leaving the field here. You got a big break on this. But here's the reverse, 71. Kenny Lopez says, you're not going to fool me a third time. I'm here for the reverse. But he doesn't make the tackle. Warren Sapp misses. Now Matt Cody heads to the sideline. Good tackle by Dexter Siegler. I'd go after the punt here, too, if I'm Miami.
Let's see if they set up for the return, or do they go after McWilliams? He's only had 2 punts. The first one traveled only 11 yards. Here they come. He gets it away. Siegler has it go out of bounds near the 40-yard line for the Hurricanes. Only a 36-yard punt. Well, time now for the Toyota Leadership Award. And for Memphis State, it's Jeremy Williams, the senior safety. His grade point average, 3.5. His major education. He is in charge of the campus chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Also a member of the Memphis State Captain's Council, a group made up of senior athletes who decide athletic policy at the university. And for the University of Miami, a business major, Terrace Harris, their senior safety, also with a outstanding grade point average. He speaks to the local area children about the danger of drugs. So he is involved in the community as well. Collins throwing for Bennett on first down. And he's got close to another first down, the 49 of the Tigers.
Whole plan now for Miami is just to spread out Memphis State. Go to the shotgun, no backs in the backfield, spread them out, try to keep them from blitzing and trying to make them defend the field.
Problem for Tim Rose right now. Each time Miami has started over the last 3 possessions, they've started in great field position.
Just can't give them the big play. You still have to make them work the field.
Larry Jones, the only one in the backfield on second and less than a yard. Jones first carry the contest. Flag on the play as he picks up the first down to the 48. It is a hold against Miami. And still the ground game very sluggish for the Hurricanes as we fill you in on other scores. San Diego State back with a field goal now.
That's probably the first minute of the game out there.
Holding on the offense.
William and Mary trailing in the 1A playoffs, 1AA playoffs. It always amazes me that we talk about a playoff system. I was in 1AA at Murray State. It worked. Always the complaints that it'll take time away from studies. Well, the Division I AA players are no less students in the Division I. If you start a playoff, you tell every team when they start in September, there's no off dates. You play straight through. 4 games in September, October, and you start the playoffs in the middle of November.
Tellison taking a pop on that reception over the middle. He's at the 46, 5 short of the first down.
Tackle was made by Danton Bartow. Tim said Tim Rose told me he's the kind of player that would love to have come to Miami. He's from Niceville, Florida. After Memphis State beat Florida in 1988, 17-11, he decided to give Memphis a look. But he said all along, I've always been a Miami fan.
He has led the Tigers in tackles in each of the last 3 seasons. 3rd and 5 for the Hurricanes at their own 46. 5:51 left in the half. Collins with protection. He's got his receiver. Jones again, who should take it the distance. Touchdown Miami and Chris Jones. 54 yards.
That's a nightmare if you're Memphis State. The big play you can't give up. Al Shipman, number 32, a key block on this pass reception for Chris Jones. Nice throw by Ryan Collins. We may pick up Al Shipman, number 32. You need a big block on this. Let's see if we pick up the block. There's number 32. Al Shipman blocking Jeremy Williams, number 19, which really springs it for the touchdown.
So a new career high on that reception of 54 yards for Chris Jones. It's official once Collins puts his hands into the air. 5:36 left in the half, and now Miami, with Pruitt's extra point, goes up by 14. So for most of the first half, Miami is trailing 7-6, and now they come alive, and it seems like they're starting to feed off the great start from their defensive effort. NFL's Sunday Night Football on ESPN, and what a matchup. The Houston Oilers looking for their 6th consecutive victory. It would be the first time they have done it in 30 years. They take on their division rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Rod Woodson. Super matchup on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It all begins at 8 o'clock Eastern.
That should be a great game, Joel, down there tomorrow night. Looking forward to watching that one.
Especially with Pittsburgh with a point to prove, coming off a loss on the road, losing decisively to the Denver Broncos last week.
Everybody had Houston up for the dead, but they've come alive. Realignment possibilities. The Big East is talking about basketball schools in the Atlantic 10 that play football. Rutgers, Temple, Virginia Tech, West Virginia maybe being in the Big East altogether. Rumor has it the ACC is talking to Kentucky. Also Georgia and Florida about maybe looking at the ACC. Big Ten, Missouri has openly said they'd like to go to the Big Ten. Now they're telling me they're looking at Kansas. The SEC, a little hidden agenda there maybe with Oklahoma. Memphis State, I still feel like would be a good selection for Steve Hatchell in the Southwest Conference.
Cody will bring off the Pruitt kickoff from the goal line. And Cody with running room, slowed down by Pruitt. He's out to the 40. Shipman with the angle, and it's Shipman who provided the great block downfield for the wide receiver to go into the end zone in that 54-yard score, who saves a touchdown the other way. 57 yards on the return by Matt Cody from St. Louis.
But you look at Dennis Erickson, he just throws his hands up in the air. His team's playing like a typewriter tonight. Once they get something going, then the other thing goes wrong. Now here's Matt Cody on the special teams, and they've got a tackle there missed. Here's another tackle missed. All of a sudden, he changes directions. It's going to take Al Shipman, number 32, to make the tackle.
I think I just heard that bell on the typewriter at the point of the stop.
I'll tell you, I know what he's going through right there. He's so unhappy right now. He doesn't care whether it's Thanksgiving weekend or anything.
They started the Miami 42, and it's complete to Isaac Bruce. He's down to just short of the first down, just outside the 33. Let's check in once again with Adrian.
Joel and Coach have been keeping my eye on Darren Crine. Now, what he is doing is moving his alignment out inch by inch, a little bit wider, trying to pull the offensive tackle and the tight end, depending on where they line up, out there with him. What he does then is take his first step, his first move upfield, then bang, hits him right inside. Plus the fact Memphis State offensive line is not taking on the pass rusher early enough. They're giving too much ground, which is why those guys are in the backfield all the time.
Well, another reason, Adrian, he's widening also is Memphis State has not established the running game at all. So it becomes a passing game all the way for Memphis State. Darren Crine's going to play in the East-West game and also the Senior Bowl game down in Mobile, Alabama.
Memphis State on a 2nd and 1, still feeling very confident about themselves, obviously, trying to get it way downfield, wasting the down if they couldn't get it. And now they're looking at 3rd and a yard.
Two coaching extremes. You look at Chuck Stobart, his stomach's not pumping because he's not expected to win. Guy on the other sideline is expected to win tonight. He can pull out all stops. 2nd and short, throw the pass. Now try to pick up the run down.
They're 1 for 6 on 3rd downs, and Marcus Holliday pulls his way through for the first down, the junior from Memphis. Rohan Marley and Robert Bass combining on the hit for the Hurricanes. But after that great return, they needed to get that 1 yard to try to capitalize on the superb field position.
Last time I was here, Rohan Marley came over and talked to me, and he said William Floyd, the fullback at Florida State, the outstanding fullback, had said that he'd had Rohan Marley in the game. He had 2 decleaters, and as soon as Rohan Marley, somebody showed him that article, he tried to call William Floyd in the dormitory. He said, "You didn't decleat me." You know, he's from Jamaica. They have a hurricane club in Jamaica. They watch the games, and he's a hero.
Easy to recruit someone like that.
He's a hero.
1st and 10 from the 30 of Miami. Scarpino with good protection and almost picked off by Paul White. He's got 1 already. He almost had his 2nd.
He had an excellent break on that ball. Paul White, that ball was thrown very hard by Tony Scarpino. Good break by Paul White. Tony Scarpino looks to me like he's relaxed, very confident. There's the throw, but watch the break. I mean, that really is a big league break by number 4, Paul White. As soon as he's seen the ball delivered, broke on it, almost picked it off.
The Pittsburgh area in recent years has turned out some great quarterbacks like Dan Marino and others. And now Scarpino getting his opportunity at Memphis State. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Great pressure by Patrick. What a grab by Martin. Martin with a first down and then some. Inside the 15, John Martin with a flag down late at the point of the tackle all the way to the 12-yard line. 17 yards on the reception and run.
Good play by Tony Scarpino. Just got the ball away.
As Kevin Patrick got Scarpino. Face mask Miami on the tackle.
Kevin Patrick with good pressure, number 86. He sets the tackle up, then breaks inside. Almost there, but Tony Scarpino's able to get rid of the football.
That'll take it inside the 10 now for Memphis State after they mark it off. It'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Face mask on the defense, 5-yard penalty.
Another look at that last play.
Tail end of the play, we'll see the face mask. Number 34, Dexter Siegler, called for the face mask.
Quite a one-handed grab with a ball thrown behind John Martin. Sensational play all the way around for Memphis State. They're down by 14 with 4:33 after the first 30 minutes of play.
Joe, Memphis likes to throw the fade down here, but to the inside receiver. If they go to 2 receivers to the wide side, which would be the left side, the middle receiver is the receiver they like to throw the fade to in the corner. Well, they're in the eye, so they're unbalanced right here.
That's Martin, and he's stopped just inside the 5. Juan Russell, the redshirt freshman from Fort Lauderdale, one of the first ones in there. You can see the officials trying to separate these groups. The officials, their intensity level is up there as well. It'll be 2nd and goal now for the Tigers.
And a sloppily played first half as far as the penalties.
Huge possession for the Tigers in Memphis State. And don't forget, it was all set up by that great return by Matt Cody. The fumble snapped by Scarpino. Did he collect it at the 10?
Even if you don't recover it, you point like you haven't. You teach your defender, as soon as you get out, you may get J.C. Lauterbach confused.
Great line.
Tony Scarpino never had the football. Able to recover.
There have been some anxious moments for Tony Scarpino. So now they try to settle things down and wisely call a timeout with 3:25 left in the first half.
This holiday season, more people will trust Napa to keep their vehicles running and to help them save, too. Get this Napa toy truck with real truck sounds, just $16.99. 1994 Chilton repair manuals are a low $13.99 each. And get a 61-piece Evercraft tool set for only $29.99. So drive by or fly by your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
NFL Football 94 starring Joe Montana features an all-new passing game, speed bursts, and real players. So how far did Sega go to understand these real players? Maybe too far. NFL Football 94 from Sega Sports.
Never thought about transmission wear? Time to shift mental gears. Use Autotrans in your automatic transmission or Man-Trans if you have a manual. 2 special treatments from Slick 50, the transmission wear protector.
Levi's loose-fitting jeans. A loose interpretation of the original.
We're a few minutes away from the Delta Faucet halftime report. Recap and reaction to Florida State's visit to the Swamp and Penn State's visit to East Lansing. It's coming up at half, Joel.
All right, Mike, we'll look forward to it. At the half, 3:25 left in the second quarter. And now a 3rd and goal situation for Memphis State just outside the Miami 10.
Keep your eye on Mike Anderson here, the inside receiver on this side, and John Martin, the inside receiver over here. Those are the 2 key receivers in this set.
3rd and goal. It's complete to Isaac Bruce, but he's only to the 5-yard line. Terrace Harris closing in a hurry of the safety.
You made a point about feeding off the intensity and feeding off the defense, and that's exactly what happened. Miami took it as a challenge once they got inside the 10-yard line.
So now a field goal try for Joe Allison. Cousin of the late NASCAR driver Davey Allison, all-time leading scorer. A Lou Groza Award winner last year. It'll be an attempt of 23 yards, like a punch shot. 8 punches it right through. So Memphis State with 3 more on the board. And now they're down by 11, 21-10.
Talk about NASCAR. I was thinking about Dr. Jerry Punch Shot right there. He punched it right through. What I think of when I think of NASCAR.
Let's head back to Adrian Carson. Adrian?
The number 28 you see in the back of Joe Allison's helmet actually is number 28 for his late cousin Davey. You'll remember he died this past summer. And of course he is Uncle Bobby's nephew. But the whole team has decided to wear that number 28. Here's an interesting situation. Joe comes out to practice in pregame warm-up wearing number 28. You'll see right now he's wearing number 12. Used to be the number that Uncle Bobby had on his car.
And he had mentioned he is still inspired, and he says prayers before the start of every game when he comes out for warm-ups. He is thinking of one person in particular, his late cousin, Davey Allison. There he is. This is before the game, a good hour and a half before the game, wearing number 28. Joe Allison, the senior from Atlanta. A finalist once again for the award that he won last year, the Lou Groza Outstanding Place Kicker Award.
Well, number 76 of the Browns, Ohio State, Lou Groza.
High top black shoes, you had to love it. Joe Allison booms this baby into the end zone. Will it be brought back? No, Jonathan Harris will stay in the end zone. Moment of deliberation there.
One thing about Lou Groza now, he played the position too. He played tackle. So he not only kicked, I mean, the kickers now are a little soft. He played tackle the whole game.
Guys on the rest of the team now, they won't even talk to the kickers.
That's right. I mean, they're just completely off.
Joe was wearing that shirt yesterday. And on the back of every one of the Memphis State Tigers, number 28. Honoring the memory of Davey Allison. Still Miami starting with the ball now with an 11-point advantage. They're up 21-10 with 2:47 left in the half. Donnell Bennett A single set with Collins operating out of the shotgun. And wisely throws it away in the general neighborhood of Jonathan Harris, but still he doesn't look all that comfortable, does he, in the pocket?
No, they have not blocked Dan Bonner, number 7. Dan Bonner will continue to hit Ryan Collins. He'd have been better off taking off and running that play, but Dan Bonner has had an excellent first half. He's quick, 210 pounds, 4.6 in the 40. Pressure has to come from number 7, and he's doing a job here in the first half.
He has consistently been in the backfield of the Miami Hurricanes. Plenty of time that time for the pocket. Jonathan Harris, after taking the lick, picks up about 4 on the reception. Danton Bartow forcing him out.
Ken Irwin lit him up first, number 29, with a good tackle. He just didn't wrap up. When you make a hit like this, you have to wrap up. Watch number 29, Ken Irwin. There's the hit, but see, never wraps his arms. Jonathan Harris bounces off and picks up about 4 more yards.
Former high school quarterback out of Lindale, Georgia, Ken Irvin.
Heavy senior team, this Memphis football team. A lot of seniors in the lineup.
3rd and 6. 2:31 left in the half. Pressure again on Collins, and unloads it, but over the head of A.C. Tellison. And he took a shot late from Charles King.
He's getting up slowly, too.
So now the opportunity for more points before the end of the half for Memphis State.
Pressure beats Rick Perry again, number 73. Charles King, number 78, with the pressure around the horn on Rick Perry, the 6'7", 310-pound tackle. Look out for number 29, Ken Irwin. He's blocked 4 punts.
And they almost get to Chrissy. Barely gets it away. It'll die outside of the 45. You talked about Irvin. He blocked 4 points in a game to set an NCAA record last year against Arkansas.
Well, they had that one blocked, too. I don't know how they missed that one by Mike Creasy.
Fred Archie was the first one in there. Mike Creasy got it away. What a play by Creasy. 23 yards on that wobbler.
This punt should be blocked. Memphis State, look at this. Wow. I'll tell you what, Mike Creasy really did the job. He pulled back. If he tried to kick the ball on the first step, that's blocked. But he was able to stop, move forward, and then make the kick.
So now for 2nd consecutive possession, Memphis State starting with the ball in Miami territory. Now they say it was touched earlier, so that's only a 14-yard punt at the 38. Golden opportunity for the Tigers before halftime. Better protection for the quarterback. Going deep and almost picked off by Ziegler. He wanted Cody. Ziegler almost came up with that interception. And let's go back to Mike Tirico. Mike?
Joel, shocking development in San Diego. They've scored again. Joe Hughes, the quarterback, he's going to go over 3,000 yards passing in all likelihood in this game. So Mike Jones sets up a field goal. Wyoming's lead is now 7.
The Cowboys on top of Marshall Faulk and the Aztecs at Jack Murphy Stadium.
There'll be 40 more points scored there, Mike, when you keep bringing that back to us.
Just 40 more?
Just 40 more.
2nd and 10 for Scarpino. The tailback, Larry Porter. He really hasn't been able to get off all that well tonight. Holliday's had a couple of nice runs for the fullback spot. That's good for only 2 yards, pulled down around the ankles by Dwayne Johnson. Larry Porter, the leading rusher, the senior from Columbus, Georgia, for Memphis State.
He was hurt in the Louisville game, sat out 3 games, and he's averaged 95 yards rushing since returning to the lineup.
So now if they can't pick up the first down, at least pick up a few yards for a field goal try from Joe Allison. It is 3rd and 8. I thought Rohan Marley almost came up with a one-handed pick. Phenomenal play by Marley, taking it away from Larry Patterson.
Talked to the Syracuse coaches the last time we were here about Rohan Marley. They said that on every game tape of Miami, there'll be 2 plays made by Rohan Marley where you just stop the tape, talk to your team about effort, and then you show them Rohan Marley. He just never quits, just plays hard the whole game.
The son of the late Jamaican singer Bob Marley, and now Joe Allison. His career best is 51 yards. This is going to be a 54-yard try. A low-line drive never had a chance. So now Miami, still with 2 timeouts remaining, gets it back with 1:18 left.
And Joel, they've got good field position, too. When you try that field goal attempt, you give this offense the ball in good field position with 1:18 and 2 timeouts left.
Well, we just saw the big matchup on Sunday night. Don't forget about earlier on Sunday afternoon, NFL Game Day. Phenomenal show on ESPN to get you ready for your Sunday NFL experience. Tomorrow's top stories: will Joe Bugle last this weekend, or is he gone as the Cardinals head coach? And who is Gary Brown? You'll find out. The incredible running back. More on his story with the Houston Oilers. Trips over to the far side, the wide side. Instead, they come back to Bennett on the near side. And he's got a first down out across the 46 near the 47.
It's amazing, the coaching profession. We're talking about Joe Bugle in the middle of the season and whether he's going to be there or not. It's out of control completely.
Bill Bidwell, their owner, had said that they needed to be 9-7, or there was a possibility that Larry Wilson, the general manager, and Joe Bugle would no longer be members of the organization.
What Bill Bidwell should look at is you just don't keep changing guys all the time.
That Phoenix team has not had a winning season since 1984. 1st and 10 Miami, outside of their own 46. Collins in trouble, tries to make something happen. Knocked away by Ken Irvin. Coming up at the half with Mike Tirico, the Delta Faucet halftime report. Highlights from Florida State, Florida. Also a look at the bowl picture. It's not confusing at all, is it?
No, I don't think it is at all. I think Lee Corso can figure it all out back there. I have confidence in Lee.
Miami started this drive after the missed field goal at their own 35. They still have 2 timeouts, 66 seconds left in the half. The delay, Bennett. And Bennett's got the first down. He's been the favorite target in the first half. Rod Brown putting him down.
We're going to see if Chuck Stobart may have made a little bit of a mistake going for that field goal. Of course, if you hit that field goal now and you're trying to score, you're trying to pull the upset, but given this Miami football team, of course, you're playing great defense, but the field position that they gave them with 1:18 left on the clock may come back here.
Collins once again under pressure. That'll stop the clock with 45 seconds left in the half. Adam Diaz with a good pressure on the quarterback.
Tell you, Chuck Stobart's going to go in at halftime, and he's going to feel very good about the effort he's got out of his football team. Adam Diaz, number 47, with the pressure. Ryan Collins is going to be sore tonight. When he goes home, he's going to realize he was in a football game.
He's going to be sore in the locker room at the half.
He's been hit on every play. If I'm the offensive line coach here at Miami, and you're going to go back in at halftime, you're going to talk to your people about the fact that he's not being protected here in the first half.
Haven't exactly seen long drives, have we, Coach?
No.
8 possessions already. This is the 8th for Miami in the first half. 2nd and 10 from the 39 for Collins. His receiver fell down, intercepted by Irvin. Memphis State picks up a huge break in the final minute of the half. The wide receiver had fallen down trying to make his cut towards the sideline.
And the positive approach by Tim Rose just keeps emphasizing to his defensive football team, just hang in there. Look at the ball. It's fluttering out there, but Ken Irwin, number 29, gets the interception. Number 80, Jermaine Chambers, just fell down. Now, if you're Memphis, I think you want to run the clock, and you really have to feel good about the way your football team's played. Dennis Erickson will have a few words at halftime with his football team.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 27. Larry Borders' longest run of the half. Out to the 33.
Probably the most nervous person in the stadium right now is Dennis Erickson. The next probably most nervous person is the fellow from the Fiesta Bowl that's here.
Rohan Marley, the injured Hurricane. He was nicked up and didn't play much in the second half of the West Virginia game.
He had a deep thigh bruise last week, the same as Emmitt Smith. Didn't practice much this week. When West Virginia scored their 2 touchdowns last week, he was out of the ball game. He was injured. We talked about he had 15 tackles in the first half last week. Tell you, if you had about, well, they've got a lot of them like him, but I tell you what, he is really college football. When you look at Rohan Marley, small, tough, plays hard.
While we have a second, let's check in once again with Adrian Karsten.
Yeah, Joel, coach just brought up the fact that Fiesta Bowl committee is here. Yes, they are. Talked to two of the gentlemen from that committee pre-game, and they told me, yes, they expected Miami to win the game tonight, but that would not finalize their decision. It's how they won and by how much is the indication they gave me.
I think if they win, Adrian, they're headed to the Fiesta Bowl unless somebody bigger makes a deal.
Up for grabs. And Bruce kicks it up into the air, giving another Tiger an opportunity possibly. It falls incomplete. So it'll bring up third. A little more than 3. Pressure again on the quarterback, though, as Darren Krein came in and hit Scarpino.
Carl Battershell, the offensive coordinator, Memphis State, talked about Isaac Bruce. He said what makes him a fine receiver is he gets a good release off the line of scrimmage, but he has a great feel of getting open. Here's a tail into this play. Look at 4 Miami players. C.J. Richardson, number 19. Isaac Bruce, number 83, trying to go up to the jump ball.
8 seconds left in the half. Bruce and Anderson on the same side. Scarpino hit as he released it, and an interception for Miami's Dexter Siegler. Siegler taking it all the way on the final play of the half inside the 25.
He made a mistake. He should have stayed outside. When you intercept the football, you want your defender to go outside, not cross back where everybody's at. He needed to stay down the sideline. Dexter Siegler on the interception. Here's the pick. Good pressure by Kevin Patrick. But once you intercept the football, all defensive backs, coach, stay outside. Don't work back inside.
So Siegler, Richardson, and White were the interceptions for Miami in the first half. We've reached the halftime in Miami with the Hurricanes on the top of the Tigers by 11. Once again to the Orange Bowl in Miami. Joel Myers along with Mike Godfrey. The Hurricanes with an 11-point lead over the Tigers to start the third quarter of play. And let's take now a look at the first half numbers, Mike.
I think the key is the rushing yards. Neither team really has established the run. And you look at Memphis State on third down, only 2 out of 10. Everything else, the passing yardage, 67 for Memphis State, 239 for Miami. But big interceptions, a lot of turnovers in the first half.
Joe Allison ready to kick it off to the combo back deep for the Hurricanes of Al Shipman and Jonathan Harris right there, number 3. Allison sending it in Harris's direction, in and out of the end zone. Good kickoff by Joe Allison, 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes at their own 20.
When you look at this passing chart, success up to about 15 yards for Ryan Collins, but when he goes deep, he's had two interceptions trying to go deep. Did hit the 1 touchdown to Chris Jones, but he's had more success with the little crossing routes underneath.
Ryan Collins accounted for 93% of the total net yards offensively of Miami in the first 30 minutes.
You have to be disappointed if you're Dennis Erickson in the rushing game of your ball club in the first half.
Donnell Bennett starting the second half in that single set formation with 3 wide receivers. The quick one for Harris. And it's good for 7 yards on first down. Let's check in on the sideline once again with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Well, Joe, in the Miami locker room where 2 losses is unacceptable and 3 is almost unheard of, Coach Erickson let his seniors have the last word and said, look, guys, here's what's on the line. Obviously, the Fiesta Bowl, and secondly, the streak. Across the hallway in the Memphis State locker room. Now, Coach Stolberg told me that they're going to keep going with the run-pass check at the line of scrimmage, try and go with the short passes over the middle. He needs more consistency out of his special teams as well.
2nd and short. Little more than 2 yards needed. Stewart gets the call, and James Stewart has the first down across the 32 to the 33-yard line. Well, when Adrian mentioned that streak, if you joined us late today, as Danton Bartow made that stop, Miami tonight trying to tie Alabama's NCAA record of 57 straight home victories. The last time the Hurricanes lost at home, their home opener back on September 7th of 1985.
And Joe, the way their schedule reads now, next year they'll open with Tulsa, but it'll be at Joe Robbie Stadium because that's as you look at the streak. And the game, if nothing changes, it'll be Washington in here about the third game of the year. That will be the game to break the streak.
First and 10 from the 33. It's Harris again, spinning free, and he's into the secondary now. He's out of bounds with the first down. Flag down to the play as he goes out of the Memphis State 45, forced out by Dominic Callaway. "23 yards on that catch and run. Harris doing most of it on his own. A hold downfield on Miami, trying to lend support to Harris.
Little quick pass to the third receiver inside against the safety, Jonathan Harris. But Jeremy Williams misses the tackle. Now see if we can pick up the hold. I think they called it on Chris Jones right there, number 85. That's the call, holding on Chris Jones.
So they move it back into Miami territory inside the 45, back to the Hurricanes 43.
20-yard play, 10-yard holding, still picked up 10 yards.
And now they've got it first and 10 at their own 43, an 11-point lead for Miami early in the third quarter. And now Collins on first down, a different look, nobody in the backfield, 4 wide receivers setting up. He sent Larry Jones the back over to the left side and goes over the middle for Tellison. Outstanding block downfield enables him to pick up a first down. It was Larry Jones who was downfield. Well, it's been a tradition now since way back in 1960. The Goodyear Blimps covering all these major college events. Overhead tonight, it's the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes with a beautiful overhead view. Crowd in the neighborhood about 35,000 on hand at the Orange Bowl in Miami. First possession of the second half. Donnell Bennett, like Larry Jones, not in the backfield but in the flanker's spot on the far side, the short side of the field. And it's Bennett. He gets 9 more on the reception. So now, Coach, they're taking their back and they're splitting them out wide. He's not even setting up anymore in the backfield.
Letting the backers drop real deep and then trying to hit the receivers underneath. And if Ryan Collins would just be patient, he has this throw on every play. It's when he tries to go deep, it's not there. When you don't have a running game, you're throwing constantly. The way you control linebackers if you can't run is the little short passing game.
Early, it's the underneath patterns. Bennett on second and a couple. He's got more than enough for the first down to the Memphis State 30-yard line. And let's go back to the studio and join Mike Tirico. Mike.
Joel, keep those calculators clicking at the Murph. Joe Hughes of Wyoming back to pass one more time. Ryan Yarborough, 7 catches, 160 yards, 2 scores. If Wyoming wins, BYU to the Holiday Bowl.
Joe, I'll have to apologize to Mike Tirico. 40's not enough. Let's go to 80.
31-17, the lead now. And there's talk that the head coach of the Aztecs in San Diego State could possibly be in trouble as well, Al Luganville. Larry Jones, the single set on first down from the Memphis State 30. The wide receiver was available. Nice play fake, but then Collins couldn't hit the wide open target, Chris Jones.
Joe, it's interesting in Miami, they've sold their players for years on the fact of late in the season like this, when a team from the north comes down to play here, they have such a great advantage with the heat and humidity, but it works both ways. Last week when they went to West Virginia, cold, a very big disadvantage for Miami.
So the humidity up there tonight. Warm situation for the Tigers. The Hurricanes obviously used to this situation. 12:39 left in the third. Second and 10 for the Hurricanes. He had Tellison wide open. Still looking for Tellison. And it's out of bounds, but Tellison originally was a good 5 yards behind the defender.
His decisions tonight are off. They've been off the whole ball game. He's made some good ones, but most of them have been bad decisions of trying to decide when to throw, when to take off running. And it's tough to practice a quarterback when he doesn't sit in the pocket. Look at number 18, A.C. Tellison, wide open. But, of course, remember now, Ryan Collins is running to his left and can't get squared up to throw the ball deep.
3rd and 10 situation, still to the Memphis State 30. Collins out of the shotgun with 4 in the pattern. The dump off for Bennett. Can he get to the marker? No. He'll be about 3.5, 4 yards short. Rod Brown in on the stop.
Britton Wilkins, number 38 on the blitz, an all-out blitz. Dennis Erickson looks like he's going to go for it. Figuring his defense is playing solid, he can take a gamble.
Injured man down to the far side is Donnell Bennett, the junior from Fort Lauderdale, who was in on that reception. So now that gives Dennis Erickson some time to think about which direction he wants to go. Originally, Pruitt was ready to come back onto the field, the place kicker.
I can tell you, being a coach on the sideline, you look over there and you say, kick the field goal, doggone it.
Go up by 2 touchdowns.
Don't try to go for this 4th down.
Field goal would put Miami up by 14. We talk about that streak. Well, Miami hardly ever loses in the month of November. In fact, their loss last week at West Virginia was their first in November since before Dennis Erickson ever arrived. Their last setback in the final month of the regular season came way back in 1984. Nobody will ever forget the game. Doug Flutie to Gerard Phelan.
I was just going to tell you, I forgot, but you just reminded me.
The classic.
Lou Saban came in here, really was the coach that turned this program around, and then Howard Schnellenberger came on board and really got this thing moving.
Ryan Collins now 21 of 34 for 295 yards passing. He's out of the shotgun on 4th and 3. Has his man Harris. It's a first down inside the 20. And Miami maintains possession. Dominic Callaway coming up for the stop.
Jonathan Harris just went to the sticks to pick up the first down, the inside receiver. They're working him a little bit more in the second half versus the safety. Good call by Dennis Erickson.
Tough to play zone, I guess, when they flood one side of the field the way they do.
Tough to spread you out like that because your line, you have to get some help out of your linebackers when they're spreading you like this. The offensive scheme that Miami's using.
Miami started this drive back at their own 20-yard line. Plenty of room for Collins to move. He's got a man in the end zone. And it's just out of the reach as he grabbed it, but a little bit too late on the delivery by Ryan Collins for Harris.
Another bad decision, Joel, because he had him open, just waited too long to throw. Again, under pressure by Dan Bonner, number 7.
2 Miami receivers already with better than 100 yards receiving now. Harris with 7 receptions for 105 yards, who he's looking for there, and Jones with better than 100 yards.
Just a little too late on the throw. Miami on offense is like Kentucky in basketball. Watching them against Louisville today, they just completely put the pressure on you the whole game. That's what Miami does by throwing the football all the time.
2nd and 10 from the Memphis State 19. Opening drive of the second half of the Hurricanes. Stewart is leveled at the 11. Can't hang on. That hurt from here. Rod Brown.
Rod Brown with sound. You listen.
How would you like to be James Stewart on this play?
I don't think I'd want to be Rod Brown either.
Some serious plastic on plastic. Woo. Rod Brown out of Prattville, Alabama.
Play selection, 15 runs, 36 passes. Heavy in passing.
3rd and 10 for Miami. Collins in trouble, and they finally get to the quarterback, Marvin Thomas. The young man, the redshirt freshman out of Alabama, with the sack. That is the 3rd sack of the contest for the Tigers.
Marvin Thomas, number 98. Again, remember, there's no threat of the run, so you pin your ears back as a defensive lineman. Number 98, Marvin Thomas, from around the horn. It just took too long to get the play off. Joel, the last time that Miami kicked a field goal, Dominic Galloway had a shot at blocking the field goal.
The setter is the injured Miami Hurricane, K.C. Jones. You're right, though. And it looked like Callaway just went to sleep for a second on that play.
It was close.
K.C. Jones, the redshirt freshman, starting center out of Midland, Texas for the Hurricanes. They consider him the quickest among their offensive linemen. Yeah. Mike, I would imagine when you lose your center, even if you have a little experience behind it, because we're only looking at a redshirt freshman here, but still there's a change. Fortunately for Miami, they're getting ready to go for a field goal anyway.
And especially you're using the shotgun, so what you'll do is get Ryan Collins off the side and work the snap. Keep your eye on number 1 right here.
That's Dominic Callaway.
Coming off the edge.
It'll be a 39-yard field goal try by Pruitt. He was 2 of 3 in the first half. Callaway around the corner and gets to it. It's blocked by Callaway. Irvin after it. Memphis State will pick it up. That's James Logan. And James Logan's on his way. He's finally pulled down across the 40. What a pick-me-up for the Memphis State Tigers when it looked like Miami was about to go up by 14. There is a flag way back at the 16, though.
And there's an official down on the sideline, also on the 30-yard line.
Good call, Coach.
I think he got peeled. Somebody peeled back and hit him.
Callaway with some serious speed around the corner.
Dominic Callaway came off the corner the last time and really should have blocked the last field goal. Number 1. Coming off the corner. Now that's a big tackle. That's Warren Sapp that's blocking, and Warren Sapp has to go inside. But now watch number 1 lay out exactly what you want him to do with that left hand. Gets a piece of it. Dominic Callaway. He is feeling good about himself.
So Miami takes it from their own 20, hangs on to the ball 4.5 minutes, and comes up with no points.
There still is a flag back there, right? Unless it fell out of somebody's pocket.
The flag is picked up. I think it fell out of the pocket of the referee or the official actually that went down.
Somebody got a decleater on him. Knocked the flag out of his pocket.
A little bit later, will you grade that out on film for us?
5-yard face mask during the run. It's at the end of the run where we'll assess the 5-yard penalty. First down.
Another look at the situation involving the official.
There he is. Looks like the manager hit him off to the sideline.
The Stanford band's not on the field, are they?
I think the manager got him.
Too many men on the field. 1st and 10, Memphis State. They've got it now at their own 49-yard line. What a turnaround for the Tigers. That last drive, 13 plays, consuming 4.5 minutes. Scarpino for Bruce, his favorite target. Isaac Bruce, 65 receptions coming in. He's knocked out by Paul White. Scarpino, though, picked off 3 times, so the short stuff now to get his confidence back a little bit.
Short passing game is really where he's had his success tonight. Hit 1 touchdown to Bruce. Isaac Bruce, number 83. He had 4 receptions in the first half. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Tony Scarpino tries to find him again.
Holiday, the single set for Memphis State on 2nd and 6 in Hurricane territory. And Bruce cut it off. Scarpino thought he was going to continue.
It's a good thing he did cut it off, because Corwin Francis would have given him a wake-up call. He was sitting there waiting for him.
Passing chart now for Scarpino.
His success again has been underneath. But when you look in the corner, they're 0 for 4, 2 interceptions on the right side because get the ball in the air too long.
3rd and 6 for Memphis State, and it's thrown behind Matt Cody before he can ever turn around. Scarpino may have rushed that a little bit.
Now there's a flag down again.
Over on the far side. Separating a couple of players at the same time. As Francis was getting into it with one of the Memphis State offensive linemen.
Now they picked that flag up.
Punting situation. Jonathan Harris will go back deep. Andy McWilliams ready to punt for the Tigers from inside his own 40. You can see the problems and the difficulty that he has had so far in his first 3 punts.
For Miami to try to return this one.
Low line line driver, triple type for Harris at the 11. Not a lot of blocking up in front, though, as they went for the block. He's across the 15, where Miami will have it for the second time of the second half. They'll start with it 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
You are about to experience the extraordinary power of renewal from Rayovac, a new kind of alkaline battery created to be reusable 25 times or more with the Renewal Power Station. Inside, there's a microchip that knows how much power each Renewal battery needs and custom charges it for you. So you get maximum life from every battery with alkaline power in every charge. That's the power of renewal from Rayovac.
This is the all-new GMC Sonoma. There are so many changes that we couldn't tell you about all of them in 30 seconds. So we wrote a book about it. Call 1-800-GMC-TRUCK and check one out. Sonoma from GMC Truck.
ESPN's presentation of CFA College Football is brought to you by AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time. And by GMC Truck, the strength of experience.
The Miami skyline. And we look now at the Orange Bowl. Beautiful night in South Florida. Joel Myers, Mike Gottfried, as the Miami Hurricanes trying to make it 57 straight wins at home to tie Alabama's NCAA record. They're up by 11. So they get it back. Second possession of the second half of the 17. The shortstop, and it's Bennett. He's got a first down. He doesn't want to go down. He's out to the 34.
Joel, some of the coaches in Memphis State history that had success there, Chuck Stobart, of course, doing a nice job. But Billy Spook Murphy, 58-71, then became the athletic director. Richard Williamson was head coach at Tampa Bay. Rex Dockery, who came from Texas Tech, did a nice job. And the coach, I felt like, Ray Dempsey, in 1984, tied Bobby Bowden in Florida State. I felt like he was the guy. Came from Southern Illinois, where they won the national championship, and now he's a minister in Columbus, but a solid football coach.
Different look for Miami. Single set and two tight ends, and Bennett powers his way for about 6 yards to the 40-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Adrian Karsten.
Joel, interesting situation now. That pass on first down to Donnell Bennett. He was actually the secondary receiver there. Coach is really getting after Ryan Collins on this last time he was sitting on the bench, saying you've got to look beyond your primary receiver. The defense for Memphis State is reading where he's going just by looking at his eyes. The other thing is Ricky Perry, 6'7", 310 pounds, is getting beat right, beat left by guys 6 inches shorter and 50 pounds lighter, getting no protection from that left side of the offensive line.
Ricky Perry, thank you, Adrian, the left tackle for the Miami Hurricanes. It's James Stewart with a flag, the middle of the offensive line. He only gets a yard to the 40-yard line. Danton Bartow, the first one in there for Memphis State.
The typewriter's back in effect here in the third quarter. You know, hit a beat, miss a beat.
We talked about the happy feet that we had seen early in the game from Ryan Collins, and obviously Dennis Erickson feels the same way. He's not showing patience in the pocket.
He wants to make every play a big play. Take the little short passes that they're giving you. When it's there to run, you need to run. But his decision process, he needs to speed up a little bit to try to make that decision of what he wants to do. Again, there's no help in the running game. There is no running game tonight on either side.
At the end of the contest, we will be selecting the Visa Player of the Game. And right now, Ryan Collins, the leader in the third quarter, with a new career high in the passing department. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third 15 minutes of play. Second and 16 for Miami.
Joe, if he gets a little light, he needs to take off with the football, because that's when he's the most dangerous.
Bennett again on the receiving end across the 35 to the 36, put down quickly by Dan Bonner, who's putting in quite a performance for the Tigers.
Tim Rose, the defensive coordinator, just has to continue to be impressed with the effort he's getting out of his defensive football team. Dan Bonner, number 7. Look at Tim Rose. Look at that. A-I-C-O. I mean, he's giving the letters and everything. I mean, he's active. He's in this thing.
You sure he's not bringing a plane into the game?
No, he's in this. Look at him. Look at those eyes. Look at his head. I mean, he's ready to go. He'd like to be in there playing. A little old, though.
3rd and 8. Miami's 36. Pressure on Collins, has a man over the top of Chris Jones. Tony Williams with the heat on the cornerback. Set back to Adrian.
Casey Jones, the freshman center, who's been described as perhaps the best offensive lineman on this Miami offensive team. Potential ligament damage to his left knee. Joel, it's going to be Simonette. Alan Simonette, number 66, will go the rest of the way at center for Miami.
Alan Simonette in that last series with good exchanges with his quarterback, Ryan Collins. Mike Chrissie's first punt only went 14. They almost get to him. They almost blocked the first one. He was barely getting the first one away. Now Cody will bring it back after the bobble from the 25. And it's stripped away from Cody. A loose ball. Does Miami come away? Yes. Miami's got the ball. Marcus Carey comes away with it. It looked like it was stripped by Booker Pickett.
The mistake that I believe Matt Cody made on this play, took his eye off the football. Watch, now we counted at the very end. Never puts the football away. You see, it's like a loaf of bread. He's got it out there. Never really covered the point with his hand. The point was exposed. It was pulled out by Marcus Carey. Number 48 recovered the football. Number 48, look at him grab that football, pull it in.
So the Hurricanes once again starting to drive in Memphis State territories. The Tigers have given it away 4 times, only 2 so far for Miami. They start at the 33. And Larry Jones can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Great penetration by the quick defensive front 7 of Memphis State. The first one in there, the nose guard, Brian Barnett.
They just refuse to let Miami run the football. They have just owned the line of scrimmage, even given up all the weight, the height. But the one thing you can't measure is heart, and the Memphis State defense has heart. 17 rushes, 51 yards for Memphis State, 18 rushes, 59 yards.
They lost a yard on first down. It makes it 2nd and 11. Collins from the shotgun. Desperation throw. And almost picked off by Jeremy Williams, the free safety. He was trying to find Dietrich Clausel, the tight end, in the end zone.
You know, the way Ryan Collins is going right now, it might be a time where you bring in Frank Costa and settle him down a little bit. Even though he's your quarterback, he's your future, Ryan Collins is just really off right now. Now, he may be able to come back a play, next play, or the play after and hit a receiver for a score. But right now, he's moving all over, and he's not in any kind of control as you look at Frank Costa.
Miami really hasn't been able to sustain any long drives in this game. This is the 11th possession. And we still got 6:43 left in the 3rd quarter. The 11th time Miami has had the ball. Collins on the design quarterback draw on 3rd and 11. He's very close to where he needed to go, and I think he got the first down inside the 22. Yes. First down, Ryan Collins.
Alan Simonette, the new center, number 66, off the bench, cold, and he made the key block.
Simonette's a sophomore from Miami, 6'3", 265-pounder.
Alan Simonette, the center, number 66. There's the block. Ryan Collins following the lead of his center. Picks up the first down.
And then Terrell Green, the right guard, with a good block downfield for the quarterback. Simonette just coming in for Casey Jones. Ligament damage for Jones. Poor exchange on the handoff to Larry Jones. But he still scrambles inside the 20 down to the 18.
Wasn't there a railroad engineer, Casey Jones, or was that Casey Jones? What was it? Casey Jones. Not Casey, Casey. Some kind of song there was about the railroad. Joe, before your time.
Plenty of Kansas City songs. KC. First down, or make it 2nd now for the Hurricanes.
Dino Cook would know what I'm talking about. You see Tim Rose still active on the sideline.
2nd and 6. Collins with an audible at the line calling the play. James Stewart inside the 10. First and goal, Miami. Great blocking over on the right side of the offensive line. Jeremy Williams, a free safety, had to make the stop. Lomelski. Zev Lomelski leading the way, the right tackle. He's a junior from Miami Beach.
Now here's what I figured that might happen. Miami now goes to a 2 tight end offense to try to balance up Memphis State. Now they're just going to try to knock them off the ball. Now, Joel, it's helmet on helmet. Number 28, James Stewart. Now he's carrying the ball 235 pounds. You got something going in the running game.
Nice kick out for the tight end and the tackle on that side. It's Larry Jones this time on first and goal. He gets 4 down to the 5-yard line. Dan Bonner wrapping up the running back.
Dennis Erickson is challenging his football team now. 2 tight ends, alternating the backs in, trying to play smash mouth football with Memphis State Tigers.
Miami not very effective in the first 30 minutes of play running the ball. Trying to make a statement here on the 3rd possession of the second half. James Stewart, the only one in the backfield. You see the way Miami is dominated offensively, but it's mostly through the air. They stand up Stewart. Tough chore. The first one over there. Richard Hogan's the linebacker, a freshman from Columbus, Georgia.
244, an outside backer, Richard Hogan's with a good play. Freshman.
And now an interesting call coming up for the Hurricanes. 3rd and goal from the 5.
And this Memphis defense, remember, they've been out there a long time in this first 3 quarters. They played most of this game. Their offense has not been able to sustain any kind of drives. They may be tiring a little bit.
And if you joined us late, the humidity up close to 75-80% in Miami this evening. 4 wide receivers setting up for Ryan Collins. You've got Bennett as the single over to the near side. Flag on the play as it's thrown wide of the intended target. Richard Hogan's getting to the quarterback. He wanted Jonathan Harris. And Memphis State says it's going against Miami. Memphis State offside Tigers. A reprieve. So another try on 3rd and goal for Miami.
Chuck Stolbar just saw his player point to it was on Miami. Made him feel good for a little while until J.C. Lauterbach changed it.
Offside defense, half the distance to the goal line, still 3rd down.
It may have been when they showed the blitz and then backed off at the last second. 4:24 left in the 3rd. Miami has owned the ball for almost the entire 3rd quarter.
Chuck Stolbar's been a lot of places. Was a head coach at Utah, Toledo. He's owned a lot of houses around the country.
Larry Jones, the only one behind Ryan Collins. They're back with the 2 tight ends and 1 wide receiver to each side. Collins calls his own number into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. And he came very close to going over the line of scrimmage. It's A.C. Tellison with the touchdown reception. I thought he was about to step over the line of scrimmage.
Joe, he was close. Play action where you have 2 tight ends in the ball game, make you think like you're going to run the football, and he almost pushes the ball. He was so wide open. A.C. Tellison, number 18, in the corner of the end zone.
Dane Pruitt on for the extra point try. It's out of the hole of the punter, Mike Chrissy. And now Miami takes an 18-point lead. So Ryan Collins with the option to run it or throw it. And he found A.C. Tellison to the back line of the end zone as the Hurricanes lead it now 28-10.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
The
average Grand Prix lasts but a few hours, unless it's a Grand Prix started with a genuine Delco Freedom battery. Delco's rated tops for taking the pole position in starting power and excelling in reserve capacity. Helps keep your engine in the race for a longer, more reliable life.
AC Delco. It's like buying time. Now through December 4th, get started with up to $14 cash back on Delco Freedom batteries.
Introducing the all-new GMC Sonoma. We've packed everything we know into this one, Sonoma from GMC Truck.
Chill out with some championship hoops. The Great Alaska Shootout. Watch it Saturday at midnight only on ESPN.
There's some classes behind us that really did a lot for the program and really made a lot of things happen. And I think that we want to go out and win it for them, too. And we don't want to be the class that lost in the Orange Bowl. We don't want to have that in our shoulders. So we definitely want to keep it going. And it's important in other ways because we got to keep things going around here and not keep our head down. We got to keep things going and kind of set the tempo for next year.
Darren Crine, one of the leaders for the Hurricanes defensive unit, making a very good point. It's not a streak that belongs to this senior class or this Miami squad, but plenty of other Miami teams since the '85 season that have been a part of this streak. They try to win their 57th straight to tie Alabama's NCAA record. John Martin waiting for the kickoff. He'll take it from the 4. And he doesn't make it back to their 20. Great coverage on the special teams by Miami. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line for Memphis State. There's only 4:12 left in the third quarter, Coach. We've got a flag back if Miami could possibly be offside. And Memphis State's only had the ball 22 seconds in the second half. That'll do a number on your defensive unit.
Just wears them down.
We'll see another kickoff. It's a 28-10 lead for the Hurricanes of Miami, as they try to close out the regular season at 9-2. Miami has not had 2 losses in a season since the 1990 campaign, the last time they were not a part of the national championship picture. The people of South Florida have definitely been spoiled by their football. Florida State, Florida,
Joe, it's
and now
interesting.
Miami.
It's interesting that they're talking to Miami. They called Miami offside, but they're talking to Miami. Now they're talking to Memphis State.
The appeal play. Let's head back down to Adrian.
Joel, that NCAA streak that you and Darren Crine were discussing and describing, established by the University of Alabama over a 20-year period, 1963 through 1982. Well, these guys could tie the record tonight over an 8-year period. Why in such a shorter period of time? You've got to remember at Alabama, the Bear split his home games between Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. That's why it took so long, because he only played 57 games in Tuscaloosa over that time. One of the victims, late 1982, Cincinnati Bearcats and some guy named Coach Michael Charles Godfrey.
Glad you brought it up, Adrian.
Thanks, Adrian. I'll tell you a little story about that when I get a chance here. But
right after the kickoff. It'll be John Martin. Will it head out of bounds? Yes. Wisely. Martin lets it go out of bounds. So now Memphis State will have the ball at their own 35.
Had a fine football team at Cincinnati. We went to play Alabama at Tuscaloosa, where the Bear had won 48 straight, and it was their homecoming game. He never went to the homecoming dance unhappy. He was always happy, but took a friend with me, Dr. Smith, Jake Smith, who was like a father to me when I went to school at Moorhead, and we were standing in the corner of the near the locker room, and one of the managers came running in. He said, Coach, the Bear's out in the field, and he's looking for you. And I looked at Dr. Smith, and he looked at me, and he said, it's time for you, son, to go take your medicine. But the players really loved the fact that we played Bear Bryant. The players were in awe of Bear Bryant. They asked me, said, do you mind if we get a picture of the Bear? And I said, no, you go ahead and do whatever you want to. He's a great coach and one of the greatest of all time.
You can see the quarters that we have, similar to the Quonset Hutton Bridge over the River Kwai here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. 1st and 10 out to the 40. And Larry Porter checked out. Holiday breaking through into the secondary for a first down for the Tigers. To the Miami 47, Marcus Holiday. He has had better running room, believe it or not, than their leading rusher, Larry Porter. Harris and Little making the stop at the secondary.
Tony Scarpino needs a running game badly because he's been under pressure all night. 1 sack, 5 hurries, 3 knockdowns, 3 interceptions, 3 batted balls. Been a tough night for Tony Scarpino.
Holiday stays in there as a single set. 4 wide receivers for Scarpino. And it's Holiday. He is slammed to the 45 by Robert Bass. Talking about a sure-handed tackle.
And he's playing tonight. Usually he alternates with Ray Lewis, but Ray Lewis was hurt in practice. When they came back to practice this week, Dennis Erickson wanted to hit a little bit more after the West Virginia game, and Ray Lewis hurt his neck, so he's missing tonight, not alternating with Robert Bass.
You see that little Big East logo on the left side of the jerseys of the Miami Hurricanes. Are you surprised by the emergence of the 4 teams this year in the Big East and not Syracuse involved?
I hope Syracuse still goes to a bowl game. I know they're 6-4-1, but Marvin Graves, the reason I'd like to see him go is he's been the most valuable player in the last 3 years in bowl games, but doesn't look like they're going to make it this year.
2nd and 8. Huge hole for Holiday. He's into the secondary for a Memphis State first down all the way down to the Miami 31. Corwin Francis finally making that hit. The center providing a key block up the middle. That's Jeff King.
Little quick hitter, Joel, to Marcus Holiday, number 31. Good block by Jeff King, the center, number 64. All of a sudden, the Miami defensive front getting hit with some runs. They've been rushing the passer all night.
1st and 10, Memphis State. Finally, they've been able to hold on to the ball here in the second half. It's only the second time they've had it. Holiday won't go anywhere this time. Kevin Patrick getting to him early along with Warren Sapp. Well, Coach, you think football's tough? The NHL on ESPN comes your way. Hunter and Sylvain Turgeon matching up once again. The Washington Capitals and the New York Islanders. You might remember last year, Capitals Dale Hunter basically cheap-shotting the Islanders' Pierre Turgeon, who's had the longest suspension in NHL history at 21 games. Well, Hunter is back on the ice. The team's meeting for the first time since that very ugly incident right here on ESPN Tuesday. NHL hockey at 7:30. Larry Patterson, the only one in the backfield. They flare it out. It's John Martin. John Martin with a nifty move for a first down to the 20-yard line. So finally, Memphis State coming alive in the second half.
Been successful with the little short passing game.
Lopez on the tackle.
Carl Battershell with the call, and there you see John Martin tweet.
At 10 on the 20.
He's a senior, John Martin. A very important game for this young man. The Tigers come in at 6-4. They'd love to be the upset team of the night. Quick one to Spalding. Not much available to the 19 as Burgess got him low and held on. James Burgess, true freshman, the linebacker from Homestead, Florida.
You have to think that Chuck Stobart down 18 will think of this in terms of a 4-down territory. You're only going to get so many opportunities against this Miami defense.
2nd and long. Something they haven't seen all that often on this drive. Putting pressure on the quarterback, Scarpino. Looked at his first option, then threw it away when the first option, Isaac Bruce, was taken away. And let's go back downstairs to Adrian Karsten.
3rd down, 9.
Well, obviously technical difficulties with the microphone for Adrian. We'll get back to him in just a second.
And he's talking about me losing to Alabama. He can't get that microphone working.
Coach is tough. End of the year. I think you guys have been around a little bit too long. Now I know why Ron Franklin's not here tonight. You want to get involved with this.
2 out of 12 on 3rd down for Memphis State. Make it 2 out of 13.
Holiday on the call. Very conservative call by the offensive unit for Memphis State.
I think they have to go for this 4th down.
Lopez.
The field goal would only cut the deficit to 15 as the clock continues to roll in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. And Chuck Stobart agrees with you. They will be going for it.
It's really easy to make those decisions up here. Let me tell you, down there, a little bit tougher for Chuck Stobart.
Well, you don't have to talk about that decision with the alumni after the game anymore.
No, that's right. I just go get a hot dog and leave.
Memphis State uses their first time out in the second half. We'll be right back to find out what they do on fourth down.
Our winning combination.
Hurry! Now till November 15th only. Get any new loaded 93 Escort with incredibly low 2.9% APR financing. 2.9% financing on Escort.
Holidays mean big savings at Ron John Surf Shop. Women's Paris Blue sportswear is priced up to 60% off. Entire stock of men's walk shorts are buy one, get one half price. And save more than 50% on Ron John full-size bodyboards with leash. Now only $19.95. Ron John Surf Shop. Open 24 hours every day. A1A Cocoa Beach.
You can try to roll away. You could calmly tell them they're crushing you. And when that doesn't work, scream. Or you could watch.
We'll see you at 7:30 Eastern next Prime Monday. Before the Chargers and Colts, we'll go backstage with defensive star Junior Seau and talk about the inconsistency of Jeff George.
Miami by 18, and now it's 4th and 6 for Memphis State. There's Carl Battershell to the booth to our left. What is he going to do on 4th and 6?
He's making the play call.
25 seconds left in the third quarter.
Keep your eye on Mike Anderson, number 3, and 83, Isaac Bruce.
Scarpino for one of the few times tonight out of the shotgun. He's got his man, and it's knocked away. Knocked away from Bruce, and what a timing play by Paul White, the defensive back. The senior from Tampa.
Paul White gets a real good break on the football. Again, I've been really impressed with him tonight. Number 4, Paul White. Now watch him. He drops back against Isaac Bruce, reads the route, now reads the quarterback, now the break up, and causing the deflection. The break is so important out of a corner once he sets to break up and knock the football away. I think he's a graduate cornerback, that said.
So Scarpino thought he had it on target for Bruce, but the corner slipped underneath. And now Miami leading 28-10, has it 1st and 10 of their own 16. Ryan Collins throws it right into the hands of the defensive back Barry Dillard, who could not hang on.
Another bad decision by Ryan Collins. He really should have run the football. Just threw it right in the hands of Barry Dillard, number 26. Barry Dillard was surprised.
It is definitely a different look for Miami to have a quarterback who likes to get out of the pocket.
Oh, really? Barry Dillard, well, Christmas came early for him, but he dropped the football. Good block by Alan Simonetti, the center. Woof. Sealed, blocked James Logan, number 45, but Ryan Collins should have run the football.
2nd and 10 now for the Hurricanes. Tough play for Harris. Barry Dillard timed that one.
What they do is they bait you. Memphis.
Comes to an end. The score. The Hurricanes 28.
It hurts even more the second time.
Well, they have the uncovered receiver, and they bait you into throwing that.
That's the final play of the third quarter. The Hurricanes in control as they look for their 57th consecutive win here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Orange Bowl in Miami, and you will not see an empty seat in this stadium on New Year's Day, as Nebraska will be matching up with most likely Florida State. Joel Myers along with Mike Godfrey, a 28-10 lead for Miami over Memphis State. Trying to tie Alabama's NCAA record with 57 consecutive wins at home. They're 15 minutes away from accomplishing that. They started the 4th and final quarter. It is 3rd and 8 for Miami. Collins with pressure goes down and lost the ball at the end of the play. It's still loose. The sack for Memphis State. Tony Williams, the first one in, then Tim Hart. That is the 4th sack. Recovered by Miami, but the sack all the way back close to the 11-yard line.
Number 54, Tim Hart. 53, Tony Williams. Meeting at the quarterback. Now, if you're Memphis, you go for the block here. They were close one time on a punt block. 29, Ken Irvin is their specialist.
Chrissy gets it away, but it's a low wobbler. John Martin will they go after it? He will. He'll take it right out of bounds. Dangerous play by the Memphis State return man. Tigers have super field position now, 1st and 10 at the 47 of the Hurricanes. And our thanks now to Captain Ash and the crew of the Goodyear Blimp. Stars and Stripes for the great overhead shots we've received all night long on a magnificent evening here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Strange game, Coach. Better than 400 yards of offense, and most of it in the passing attack for Ryan Collins, the quarterback for the Hurricanes. But there hasn't been a great deal of rhythm to their offensive sequence tonight.
Really, man, you have to credit Memphis State. They have taken Ryan Collins completely out. As you look at the time of possession, 3rd quarter, Miami just dominated it, but was not able to put the game away.
They go with the reverse. It's Cody. They tried it real early in the game. They're trying it late now. It doesn't fool Miami. C.J. Richardson staying at home, the safety on that side. And let's head back to Adrian.
Joel, remember what Coach Chuck Stover told me as far as adjustments were concerned at halftime. That type of play right after they set it up with a run pass check to the middle. What they're trying to do is take advantage of Robert Bass, who has not played a game this long all season long. What he usually does is to rotate with Ray Lewis, but Ray Lewis hurt his neck in practice this week. And what they lose there is a guy who can break on the ball very well, but also plays the run very well as well.
What they don't know is Robert Bass is from Brooklyn. You got to be tough if you come from Brooklyn. Scarpino has a man. It's Anderson for a first down inside the 30. Mike Anderson, the junior from El Cajon, California, brought down by Terrace Harris.
Seeing the development of a quarterback tonight, because Tony Scarpino has really taken a beating in this football game, but he'll stand in there. Number 16, Tony Scarpino, under a heavy rush, is able to stand in there, find a receiver. Darren Cry, number 91, with the pressure, hit Mike Anderson, number 3, for the first down.
It's a 28-10 lead for Miami. Under 14 minutes left. Short drop this time for Scarpino. No chance for Isaac Bruce, the wide receiver, on a play that was rushed, it seemed, from the outset. They really haven't been able to find Isaac Bruce deep tonight. Most of the underneath stuff is the way they've gone with Isaac Bruce. The leading receiver out of Fort Lauderdale, a homecoming for the young man who went to Dillard High School in Fort Lauderdale. One of the few, and there's only 3 for Memphis State that are natives of the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area, coming home tonight with the Tigers. 2nd and 10. Bruce, right of the marker, is pushed back, but Isaac Bruce close to the first down at the 17 for his 6th reception of the evening.
What a great catch by Isaac Bruce, but I'll tell you again, Tony Scarpino keeps impressing me with the fact of hanging in there. Isaac Bruce, curl route, well defended. Watch him sit down in the curl, now come back to the football. Make the high catch, C.J. Richardson on his back, number 19. Here comes the pressure on Tony Scarpino, number 91, Darren Crine. Hit right after he throws the football.
And they do have the first down by the nose of the football. Just inside the 17-yard line of Miami. Well, for Tony Scarpino, a lesson in his 2nd career start. And fortunately for Tony Scarpino, it is the last regular season game for Memphis State, so plenty of time for treatment.
His next game will be the spring game. Spring practice, a lot of work, and he'll be back to lead this Tiger team next year. He's only been sacked twice in previous games coming into this game and only sacked once tonight. He has some quick release.
Scarpino on first down, racing through, the ball knocked away. It looked like it was covered by Memphis State. As racing through was Robert Bass, the young man from Brooklyn, New York, we were just talking about, and they're calling it an incompletion again.
Yeah, JC may have to get some glasses here.
Yes, now they're finally saying.
Now they're calling it a fumble.
And Al Dawkins did cover it.
Robert Bass on the blitz just talked about the lack of, he doesn't give up sacks, but he tried to lateral the ball at the last second. Wow, they're going to give that to him.
It's going to be called an incomplete pass.
Robert Bass with good pressure.
Very lenient crew.
Shovel draw.
That's the way they threw it up all the way. 2nd and 10, just inside the 17. Couple of fresh backs in there. Dawkins and Spalding. As Scarpino sets up, he's got Bruce. Touchdown, Memphis State. What a beautiful route, working on Bass. Or check that, he was working on the strong safety, not 49, but 19, C.J. Richardson. So Memphis State cuts into the Miami lead. And the extra point can make it an 11-point contest.
Isaac Bruce with a nice corner route. He's been impressive tonight. Kept his feet in bounds. Touchdown. Good throw by Tony Scarpino.
Allison in for the extra point try. He has hit 90 straight, make it 91 straight now. And it's an 11-point game. 12:46 left of the Orange Bowl. Don't go anywhere. It's Miami 28, Memphis State 17.
State Farm presents the rules of the game.
We're talking about false starts. In this play, what is the infraction against the offensive right tackle?
I'm State Farm agent Jeff Libby. One of the most gratifying parts of my job is helping young parents, people who are just beginning to understand what life insurance is all about. Young couples don't need a sales talk. They just need to talk to someone who understands them and their life insurance needs. Now, I know what that promise of security means, and I don't believe there's a better promise a parent can make.
State Farm sells life insurance.
We're talking about false starts. In this play, the offensive right tackle moved before the snap. This is a dead ball foul and 5-yard penalty against the offense.
Rules of the game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Introducing the all-new GMC Sonoma. We've packed everything we know into this one, Sonoma from GMC Truck.
ESPN's presentation of CFA College Football is brought to you by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time, and by Bud Light. If you want great taste that will fill you up but never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
A beautiful night at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Joel Myers along with Mike Gottfried. An 11-point game now as Memphis State just scored on a 17-yard toss to Isaac Bruce.
Joel, when you're a defensive back and you get beat deep, what you do is you come off the sideline and make sure the phone's off the hook, that the secondary coach can't get a hold of you.
And if it's not off the hook, just bust it up so it can't operate any longer anyway. Is it too early for an onside kick? Yes, as Allison will kick it away. Over on the far side, Al Shipman from the 10. They put him down as they tried to take the ball away at the 21. Well, Memphis State scoring drive started in Miami territory. You can see most of it came through the air with the final 17 yards to Isaac Bruce. Well, their offense should be fresh because they didn't see the ball all that much in the third quarter. Now can the defense get the ball back? for Memphis State. Four wide receivers for Collins will start the drive working out of the shotgun. Gets to the back, Stewart. They throw him out of bounds after the 8-yard completion. We go downstairs to Adrian Karsten.
Joel, thanks very much. With Paul D, the athletic director here at Miami. With 12:32 left in the game, 11-point lead, nothing is certain but the bowl situation. If you win, is the Fiesta Bowl a lock at this point, Paul?
No, there are no bowls that are locks until the coalition members have met and decided on their invitations. Still have to wait for the polls to come out tomorrow for the determination of the 1-2 game and for a lot of things. There's still many things that can happen. It's amazing that they can happen this late in the season, but it's been a great reason, and I think the coalition has worked very, very well.
Your third year in the Big East, you finished second this year behind West Virginia. 2 losses in a year is really not acceptable down here, is it?
Well, 2 losses at the University of Miami is a very difficult thing. I'm sure that a lot of people like to take our place, but it is very difficult when you lose, when you're used to winning, when you've done as well as we've done over the last decade. But we played 2 great teams. We've lost to 2 teams that are 2 of the top 3 teams in the United States, both on the road. They were both very good games, both tough games.
Good luck, whether it's the Conquest Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, or whatever, Paul. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Joe?
Thank you, Adrian. Was that the personal protection for Paul D right behind him?
I think that's somebody from the coalition behind him there. It's been the kind of year for the coalition.
James Stewart picking up a first down on that last run over to the left side. He stays in the backfield.
I'm not real high on the coalition.
Couldn't tell.
No. Double pass.
There you go. Tellison looking downfield. He's going for Jones. Just out of his reach at the 25. Dominic Callaway.
Dominic Callaway would not have any of that. He was playing this play at Chris Jones all the way. Read the release of the AC Tellison. He looped out. You almost could tell from the snap of the ball it was a double pass.
So now a second and long situation for Miami. They have not been able to put away this very feisty group of Memphis State Tigers with 12:19 left in the game. Plenty of numbers for Ryan Collins tonight in the passing department, but basically they've been a good team between the 20s. They have not been able to score all that much. Underneath, it's Larry Jones. Great tackle by Rod Brown as he tried to pick up additional yardage and ended up losing a couple. It's only a 4-yard gain on the reception. But that's been the key for Memphis State all night, the quick aspect of their defense. The numbers so far on Ryan Collins. The sophomore from Pembroke, Florida. 340 yards passing, but he has been picked off a couple of times. The 340, a new career best of the 6th career start for Collins. 3rd and 6, and they've got the first down. The leading receiver through the course of the season, Chris Jones, out of Cardinal Newman High School in West Palm Beach, pushed back the defensive back Ken Irvin. The streak, we've been talking about it, outscoring their opponents on an average at home of 36-8. So we talk so often about their offense, the great pro quarterbacks they've sent to the NFL. 8 points over the 56 games. Their defense has been incredible.
Smallest margin was that game against Arizona. 1-point win by the Hurricanes.
Stewart trying to go wide. He'll lose yardage on first down, loses 3. Let's check in once again with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Guess where we're going? Back to the Murph. And Marshall Faulk, he's over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns tonight. This is the 3rd. 24 touchdowns on the year. That's more than anyone else in Division 1A. This puts San Diego State back within 7, but Ryan Christopherson ends off a drive with a touchdown of his own. Wyoming missed the extra point, so their lead is 13 in the 3rd. Joel.
7:41 left in the 3rd. That's an eternity.
Long time.
What's the life expectancy of defensive coordinators in the Western Athletic Conference?
3 quarters.
2nd and long after the loss. 2nd and 13. Collins with pressure again. Almost an incredible play by the quarterback. He found Shipman and almost hit him on the dead run. NFL Prime Monday this Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Time with Mike Tirico. He's joined by Joe Theismann, Craig James, and Ron Jaworski. Chris Mortensen updating all the latest, the NFL news. Live reports for the Monday night game with Dan Deerdorf as well. That's NFL Prime Time Monday night, 7:30 right here on ESPN. This Memphis State defense. Average loss of pounds at the end of this game because of the humidity, and they've been on the field so long. They have been incredible.
Gutsy performance.
3rd and 13. Collins has his man Jones again. He pushes back the defensive back. Callaway finally gets to him. He's got enough for the first down, though.
Chris Jones just hooking at the sticks for the first down. He's had a big night tonight, Chris Jones. Made a lot of possession catches. He's the lower receiver down here, working against Dominic Callaway, number 1. Knows where the first down is. High pass, makes the catch, tries to stretch the ball out for the first down marker.
We've been looking at some of those numbers from Collins and some of the wide receivers. There has not been a running game tonight for Miami. Otherwise, they would be up by a larger margin than 11. With all the numbers they have posted, you would think they'd be up by a lot more than 11 points. Stewart. One of the better runs of the night. Off the left tackle. Jeremy Williams, a free safety, pulling him down, but not before he moves the sticks once again for another Hurricane first down. Rudy Barber over there on the left side. The left guard leading the way.
Well, this defense has been in so many plays. They got to wear down sooner or later. Tim Rose can be proud of the effort that his defense gave tonight. And I'll tell you, I like the way he coaches. He coaches positive.
He's still juiced up. 10:26 left. It's like the first quarter to him. First carry of the night. Make that Stewart. Not the new one who just came in. He takes it inside the 20. And brought Derek Harris in, but split him out. He wasn't in the backfield. James Stewart with a run once again for good yardage of 7, almost 8.
Bartow on the tackle, number 59. 55, Rod Brown also. 2 tight end offense. Trying to get a hat on a hat. Cut back. Good block by Terrell Green, number 51.
So now it's 2nd and short, 2nd and 3 for Miami. 19-yard line. They've got to take it just inside the 16. Larry Jones trying to get away from the tackle. Slow down to the backfield. The initial hit, Tim Hart set it all up with a great penetration. And on 2nd and short, it's now going to be 3rd and close to 9. This defense won't quit.
No, they won't quit, and they keep slanting and looping and prowling before the snap of the ball. The defensive line is just they're a moving target all the time. 54, you see the quick move he made inside Tim Hart. Now he was able to get his hands on number 23, Larry Jones. Now here comes the help. Watch the pursuit of the Memphis State defense. They don't quit. You see, when you get 5, 6, 7, you love that as a defensive coordinator because they're running to the football every play. They're not giving up.
They just won't let Miami run the ball.
They try to go back to Chris Jones now, number 85.
The quick one for Harris makes the man miss. Harris on his way to the end zone. Touchdown Miami and Jonathan Harris.
Missed tackle again, Joel, by number 19, Jeremy Williams. When they spread you out, you have to be sure tacklers. Jeremy Williams has had a good night. Working against number 3, the uncovered receiver. See the missed tackle, and that just in the speed. Jonathan Harris for the touchdown.
Dane Pruitt on for the point after try. And Miami extends their advantage now to 18 with a touchdown run and catch by Jonathan Harris. 8:44 left. It's the Hurricanes up 35-17.
The traditions, you know, it's unreal. We would let history down. We'd let, you know, everybody down if we were to, you know, give up that streak.
The exceptional defensive end, Kevin Patrick of the Miami Hurricanes, talking about the streak as far as alums are concerned. Now, they're not only doing it for the current squad, but the alumni that have put together the streak, the tradition that's here, the close-knit fraternity of players that have played at the University of Miami. Back deep, Spalding and Matt Cody. It'll be Cody from the 12. He's got it across the 25 to the 27. Let's check in again with Adrian Carson. Adrian?
Yeah, Joel, a couple of noteworthy items here, some of which you may not be aware of, to be honest with you, concerning the streak. Dennis Erickson, the third coach. Howard Schnellenberger, Jimmy Johnson now coach Dennis Erickson in charge of the team here during the streak. 8 starting quarterbacks. Remember these guys: Vinny Testaverde, Jeff Torretta, Steve Walsh, Craig Erickson, Gino Torretta, Frank Costa, now Ryan Collins. 25 nationally televised games, 9 of which were on our air. Get this, 26-0 versus animals, as in Rams, Terrapins, and Badgers. Get more in a minute here, Joel.
Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my, Larry Porter on the carry out to the 34. He gets 5.
Joel, how about 1-0 versus mechanical devices like the Toledo Rockets? 27-0 versus civic groups and others like Seminoles, Irish Corn Huskers, and Scarlet Knights. How about this, Coach? You guys remember who won the Heisman Trophy in 1985 when the streak started? Bo Jackson.
And?
And the streak is continuing for the Hurricanes. Bruce on the reception, getting away and picking up the first down to the 42-yard line. James Burgess, the linebacker, knocking him out.
Tom Tuberville, the Miami defensive coordinator. There's a lot of people after him as far as being a head coach, and a lot of teams would like to hire him away here as a defensive coordinator. He has to be pleased. He has to be pleased with the way his defensive team has played tonight.
First down, Memphis State. Scarpino way overthrowing Cody. The closest one to it for Miami, Earl Little, a backup safety, a true freshman from North Miami. Not that much PT playing time. So Little upset that he couldn't get to that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. 7:53 left. Now, Coach, Nebraska wins. They beat Oklahoma.
There's Tom Tuberville right there, the
you
defense coordinator. Has to be pleased with the effort of his defense tonight. Really a solid coach. I'm sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Get back right after this play on rankings that'll be coming out. The delay, I don't want it, you take it. He lost it. Recovered by Klein, or make it Patrick. The big hit, Dwayne Johnson. He hammered it away. The young man from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The recovery for Kevin Patrick.
Wow.
The fifth turnover for Memphis State.
Tony Scarpino never had a chance. Never had a chance on that play. Watch this penetration. Dwayne Johnson, number 94. Tony Scarpino really didn't know the football was knocked loose. Then Kevin Patrick, an alert football player, number 86, the All-American. And Joe, I believe Darren Krein should have made some of these All-American teams too, along with Kevin Patrick. I mean, both of them, they play equally well from those defensive end positions.
Exceptional bookends for the Miami Hurricanes. 5 turnovers now for the Tigers.
You want to go out and you're a senior, your last home game, you want to make it a big one.
Collins just throwing it away.
Wow, he throw that one badly.
Obviously, he wanted a post pattern even if no one would run it. The streak, I'll look at it, comparing it to all-time home winning streaks. The Boston Celtics with 38. Miami with 27 in the National Football League. The St. Louis Browns. Hard to believe, huh?
Philadelphia Flyers.
The reputation 24. The Browns had.
Then there's some basketball teams also, great college streaks that maybe we'll take a look at.
2nd and 10 from the 31 of Memphis State. It's Larry Jones. He fumbles the ball at the point of the tackle. It still belongs to Miami. Danton Bartow making the hit. Now, I was about to say the rankings coming out. Oklahoma loses to Nebraska. Nebraska finishes the regular season undefeated. West Virginia does the same, beating Boston College at Boston College, while Florida State wins and stops a 23-game winning streak for the Gators at Florida Field. Florida State had an incredibly difficult schedule. I have a feeling, though, that West Virginia will be above them in the polls.
They may have had the toughest schedule of anybody in the country. And West Virginia is a team with 26 seniors, 2 quarterbacks, Darren Studstill and Jake Kelchner.
Pass off the fingertips of the defensive back, Rod Brown, hitting the quarterback, Ryan Collins, at the end of the play. He took quite a shot.
No, Joe, I'm a proponent of the playoff system. You're never going to please everybody, but I believe we should have a playoff. Should have a 16-team format. If we can't have a 16-man, I'd like to see an 8. Here's Rod Brown, number 55, just leveling Ryan Collins.
That was the 53rd attempt for Ryan Collins tonight. The last time a Miami quarterback threw it that often, Craig Erickson, 52 times. Fittingly, it came against BYU.
They have truly pumped the footballs up tonight.
They'll go for it on 4th and 6. Collins with plenty of time throws it wide of Jonathan Harris, who just caught that touchdown pass. And Memphis State takes over on downs. So the Tigers get it back with 6:51 left. We'll be right back to the Orange Bowl. The Canes in control. The Hurricanes of Miami up by 18.
Five-star service, excellent selection, and great prices. A winning combination. Volume does make the difference. Hi, I'm Bob McClellan. As the #1 Chrysler Plymouth dealer in the state, it's because of our huge volume that you can buy this brand new 94 Plymouth Sundance for just $84.88 with no money down. Air conditioning, power steering, and brakes, and lots more for just $164 a month. With no money down at a low 5.9% APR, just $164 a month. You see, volume really does make the difference at Fairway Chrysler Plymouth, where I'll bet $1 I can deal with you.
Putting doors on the best of 94 and 93.
The best of 94, Toyota.
It's Toyota's first sales event of the new model year. Save on Corolla, a benchmark in America for 25 years. Right now, there's factory incentives up to $800 on Corolla. And silver anniversary option savings up to $700. Act now and you can save up to $1,500. It's the best of the 94 sales event at your Toyota dealer now.
It's the best Toyota.
By 3 laws of motion. 1. Bodies in linear motion will continue in a straight path unless acted upon by another force. 2. A direct relationship exists between acceleration and force. 3. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Of course, some events fall into the realm of chaos theory. A force best represented as ESPN 2.
Under 7 minutes left. Memphis State gets it back, but they're down by 18. Joel Myers, Mike Godfrey at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Memphis State has turned it over 5 times. The pitch goes to Quitman Spalding. He's knocked down right at the marker. No gain of the carry for the redshirt freshman from Winchester, Tennessee.
Joe, if we had a 16-team playoff, the first game at the site of the highest seed team, if Nebraska, the 1 versus the 16 seed, which would be the WAC team, either Fresno or BYU if they win it. Florida State at home against Boston College. West Virginia at home against UCLA. Notre Dame at home against North Carolina. Tennessee at home against Arizona. A&M at home against Alabama. Florida against Wisconsin. And Miami against Ohio State. I just feel like that a playoff would prove to give you the true champion.
Scarpino finding Bruce again. He took a pop. C.J. Richardson hitting him high.
Now 16's too much for you. Then let's have an 8-team playoff. Miami against Nebraska at Nebraska, the first seed against the 8th. 5, Texas A&M against Notre Dame at Notre Dame. West Virginia against Tennessee at West Virginia. And Florida against Florida State at Florida State. I think it would be bigger than the Super Bowl. It'd be bigger than college basketball's tournament. It'd be the biggest thing we had. And eventually gender equity is going to force this issue also.
Spalding on first down. I think it's safe to say you like the possibilities of a playoff down the road. We'll be right back to continue that discussion with Coach Godfrey. Let's go back to Mike Tirico. Mike?
They're still playing to see who will decide the WAC champion, thus get the Holiday Bowl bid. In San Diego State's David Lowry in for the injured Tim Gutierrez. Touchdown pass to the tight end Alex Semenink. And all of a sudden, San Diego State is within 6.
Thanks, Mike. That missed extra point on Wyoming's last touchdown could be a big one.
12 points away from 80.
Scarpino with pressure on his way down. He looked like he was tripped there by Kevin Patrick. Probably lucky he was, because Darren Crine was in there head hunting.
Kevin Patrick's making a statement here. It's my last game. I'm going to stay on this football field. And Darren Crine and I have played hard here for Miami our entire career. And we're not going to stop now. He really leg whipped him and tripped him.
That hurt.
Use everything.
That's 10 sacks now on Scarpino.
Darren Crine has the dirt on his helmet.
So it's after the loss all the way back to the 26, where it's 3rd and 15. Trying to force it in for Anderson. Intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Corwin Francis. That is the 6th turnover for Memphis State. But believe it or not, the previous 5, Miami could capitalize and turn into only 10 points.
Tom Tuberville's defense tonight has come up with the big plays and has really generated this win. The offense stalled tonight, but Kevin Patrick and the defense, Darren Crine, just turned up the intensity.
The cheer you might have heard in the background, not only for Kevin Patrick in the play of Corwin Francis, but Frank Costa has come on the field as the quarterback now for the Hurricanes. He started their first 5 games of the year, the junior from St. Joe's Prep in Philadelphia. 1st and 10 at the 48. He feels the heat early, doesn't he? Marvin Thomas, the redshirt freshman from Alabama, in before he could even set up.
Frank's going to talk to his offensive line here on the first chance he gets in the huddle here. Hey, I've been sitting on the sideline now for almost 4 quarters. I finally get a chance to come in here, and you guys are going to block? Give me a little protection here.
Ryan likes to leave the pocket. I'm going to stay home.
Frank is telling them that. Hey, I'm right here. You're going to find me 7 yards deep. Block him.
2nd and 10 for the 48. Larry Jones. This defense is still playing it like it's the first 15 minutes of play.
Marvin Thomas, number 98, freshman, making the tackle.
Inside of 4 minutes remaining in the game, Miami will tie Alabama with a victory tonight, making it 57 straight wins here on their home field of the Orange Bowl.
What an accomplishment, too. I mean, that really is. This Miami program can really be proud of that. Beating some good teams along the way.
Third and a dozen. Tellison well short of the first down marker. So Miami has a 4th down at about 6. The punting unit started to come onto the field. Dennis Erickson will keep the offensive unit out there. They will go for it on 4th down.
4th down and 6.
Well, Frank Costa doesn't mind that call. He'd like to stay out there. Not much time for Costa recently. Brian Collins moved into the starting lineup. He's got the first down. Chris Jones, he's my vote already for player of the game. Inside the 30, spinning for a first down to the 25.
I'm going to second that, Joe. I think you're looking at the player of the game for Miami. He's had a big night receiving the football. A lot of key catches tonight for Miami.
For Chris T. Jones, he's got 7 receptions for 151 yards. The last one going for 23. He is only a junior. Great size at 6'4", 210. Al Stewart. Knocked out at the 20. Miami has run the ball far more effectively in the second half, but they were not very impressive on the ground in the first 30 minutes of play.
No, Joe, they've wore them down here, this defense. I mean, you can't ask any more. You can't ask any more of this Memphis defense than they've gotten out of their team tonight.
Let's look down the road. Miami, Arizona. A possible matchup in the Fiesta Bowl, and Arizona with a phenomenal defense.
Somebody will win that one 2-0. Two great defenses.
Well, you're just talking about the lowest margin of victory for Miami at home in the streak, and it was against the Arizona Wildcats. 2nd and 5 from the 20. Stewart cutting it back, running into his own blocker, or making Larry Jones rather, running up the back of his tackle, Ricky Perry. So now 3rd and a couple. The clock rolls down to 2 minutes remaining. So Miami will finish at 9-2, and Memphis State will finish with their 2nd consecutive winning season at 6-5. The Miami offense on the field for most of the second half. That's Ryan Collins. His work is done, throwing for a career best, better than 350 yards tonight. Offside against Memphis State. Jumping off, it was Rod Mason. So it'll be a first down for Miami on the offside against Memphis State. That'll take it down to the 13. It has been a magnificent night to be at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Glad you could join us. Joel Myers along with Coach Mike Godfrey. 91 seconds left, and Miami finally took control here in the second half after some anxious moments of the first half. They were trailing most of the first 15 minutes of play, 7-6. Then jumped out to a 21-7 lead.
Joe, and I've enjoyed it with you tonight, and this is our last regular season game. Our camera guys have been the best. Our directors, producers, all year. Our stats people up here, they've been great. Couldn't ask for a better group to work with.
Costa for Larry Jones. He's out of bounds at the 6. Don't go anywhere right after the matchup here at the Orange Bowl. It's a Residence Inn College scoreboard. That is coming up next on ESPN. And it looks like Miami may get one more to score before it's all over. They're down to the 7. Rohan Marley, he'll get ready for the bowl game.
If you're watching that, this one's for you, baby.
Larry Jones spinning. He's short of the first down. Tim Hard pulling him down. Well, a very emotional moment now for the Miami Hurricanes seniors along with the coaching staff. Their final home game, and they did do it. Tied it at 57.
The pressure goes on the 1994 team now to keep the streak going, and the Washington Huskies will be the first opponent unless that schedule's changed.
3rd and a couple. A little more than a yard. Close to 2 for Costa. It's James Stewart, and Miami gets another touchdown. Zev Lomelski leading the way on the block, a young man that was born in Russia, raised in Israel, and then finally moved to Miami. The promised land as far as he's concerned. 26 seconds to go. And the Hurricanes get another touchdown.
Joe, I want to just say as we close this on Memphis State, Chuck Stobart, I'll tell you, has to be proud of his football team. He's beaten here 41-17, but tell you, the score doesn't indicate the effort that was given by this football team from Memphis State.
Scott Barnwell in for the extra point try. The snap is bobbled by Chrissy, the punter. So it'll stay at a 24-point margin. We'll be right back to wrap things up with 26 seconds left in the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Hurricanes winning their 57th consecutive game at home to tie Alabama for the NCAA record and our Visa Player of the Game for Memphis State. Their leading receiver all year long, the senior from Dillard High School in Fort Lauderdale, Isaac Bruce. Caught 9 tonight, averaging just about 10 yards per reception with a couple of touchdowns. He's our Visa Memphis State Player of the Game. And for Miami, Chris Jones, prototypical wide receiver for the pros. He's a junior. Goes 6'4", 210, 7 catches for over 150 yards. And now Barnwell will kick it off. Nat Pruitt. Some of the reserves getting an opportunity. It's back deep. It'll be Brian Davis and Quitman Spalding. It'll be Spalding from the 3. Good return across the 30 out to the 35 for the final couple of snaps for Memphis State. And I just want to take the time. I'm a visitor tonight. Hopefully Ryan Franklin is feeling better, battling a bug, and he will be back with everybody on ESPN as the Bowls approach. But congratulations to this crew that has done an exceptional job. The technical staff, the spotters, the statisticians, everybody involved. It's been a great college football season, Mike.
For the job you've done tonight, we're going to give you a game camera.
The 94 is scheduled for Miami. Tulsa at Joe Robbie. That wouldn't count the first home game at the Orange Bowl. The Huskies of Washington. And it turned out to be a pretty tough second half of the season for Jim Lambright's squad.
Jim Lambright will have a good football team with the Huskies, and that will be a game you want to see next year.
Clifton Davis, a redshirt freshman from Como, Mississippi, takes over at quarterback now. Memphis State. A look at the future. Well, he knows he's got a good arm, but it's kicked off. The defensive back for Miami. Marcus Carey with the interception. And he's barely tripped up. Just shy of the 30. So that stops you with 4 seconds remaining. Marcus Carey with the pick. The seniors never lost at home in their Miami career. What a distinction.
I'll tell you, Dennis Erickson right now is having feelings going through his head, thinking about the great job that his seniors have and what they've accomplished here. Tom Tuberville shaking hands with the seniors, and it's an emotional moment in the locker room after the last home game because you just hate to see those guys go. 2 reasons. 1, that they've been so attached, and 2, you got to play a schedule next year without them.
Coaches hate when that happens.
The best thing you like to see is the best returner is you as a coach. You want to make sure you're back.
That rollover deal, the golden handcuffs. There's the final snap. Miami has done it. They have tied Alabama for the NCAA record with 57 consecutive wins in their home field here at the Orange Bowl. The final score, the Hurricanes dominating Memphis State in the second half. They win it by the count of 41-17. For Mike Gottfried and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Joel Myers. Thank you for joining us this evening in South Florida. Don't go anywhere, though. The Residents Inn College Scoreboard coming up next on ESPN.